What's going on, everybody, and welcome in to episode number 95. 5 away, boys. 5.
Getting there.
Feels like we keep getting closer and closer to 100. I didn't know that's how like numbers work.
That's how math works,
I
man.
can't count.
Hey, look, man, I grew up in the South, so that's, you know, we didn't learn them things called math. Math, devil's magic.
You gotta sing the song. It's like 1, I can count to 1, 2, I can count to 2, 3.
Like
I can
Limp
count to
Bizkit's
4,
version of
I
math.
can count to 4.
Slipknot,
I
actually.
didn't know.
No, Drowning Pool. That's what it was. Yeah.
I can only count to 4.
Well, cool. Well, yeah, I guess I will
There's
start
that.
learning my math through
I can
Slipknot.
send you an abacus in the mail. Are you more familiar with that as far as counting goes?
Dude, okay, no lie. I swear to God, like my wife was talking about abacus, and she's like, we should teach our kids how to use an abacus because apparently kids that can use an abacus are like wizards when it comes to math. Didn't know that.
Wizards, eh?
Yeah, wizards.
Wizards. Abacuses are pretty cool,
That's
man.
what those things are called? Wow. I've never known that. It's called an abac. I'm like, what is this like wizard spell you all speak of?
Scruffy was over there like, why are people doing fucking math on tic-tac-toe boards, bro? I don't understand.
Dude, literally.
Why is everybody doing math on Connect 4 boards, bro?
Remember when you used to go to the dentist and you, or like the doctor, and they would have like a thing that you would like move around on the big like windy,
Yeah,
like
the shapes
that's
that
what
go like up
that's
and down
what
the,
Scruffy thought that was. He was like, oh, I just thought it was a fucking kid's toy.
I didn't know. I did. That's what they gave my mom's like, here, play with this. That's what I had, man.
That is amazing.
Who would have thought? You know, if Mama Scruffy would have
Scruffy
taught you
used
math
for
on it, you would have been a
child.
genius. So, anyway,
Oh, man.
God, now I'm picturing Scruffy during a math test pulling out one of those fucking things and like playing with it. Wow, no, not the actual abacus, the fucking doctor's toy that or whatever
yeah.
else. So, anyway. Oh man. Well, welcome in everybody. Episode 95. It is a banger of a podcast. We got a lot of shit to talk about. We are on the eve. Well, not the eve anymore, I guess. It's officially
Here,
out.
It's out. Yeah.
It's officially out for everybody that shilled out $100 for
or
the
35
game.
if you don't feel like owning your game.
Yeah, if you want to do it on
True.
game, if you want to own it on
I like
Game
how
Pass.
you phrase that like if you don't feel like owning your game, like
Well,
those-
you fucking don't. It's on
You
Game
don't.
Pass, and
I
you're
know.
paying just for the early access. It's bullshit.
Well, I mean, I don't think the game is going to go away on Game Pass, but
It's not going to go away from Game Pass, but you're never going to
Yeah.
own it, and you're not going to get mod capabilities, which is like,
I
let's
mean,
be real here.
yeah.
Modding is the best part of a
Let's
Bethesda game.
let's
True,
be
but
real
also
here to
I-
begin with. You're not gonna own it by buying it on Steam either. So like,
Maybe
either way,
it's not a Ubisoft game. They're not just going to take it away from you.
But
they
if they-
could. It's
I
in
mean,
the contract.
They could. They
yeah.
could.
So
E-waste,
can
man.
wait, can you is it official that you can't mod through that? Because can you still load up
That-
through
I was gonna ask because I am not certain that you can't mod through
depends.
Game
Yeah.
Pass, but I'm just sure it's a lot harder. I feel like there's more hoops you
I-
have to go
I-
through.
I doubt
I
it. 'cause
highly doubt
it's-
it. Yeah.
You've no, I doubt that it'll be harder. It's gonna be just like modding it through Steam. You're still gonna have to like probably create a mod folder and everything like that through mod DB.
Well, I just
or
don't know
whatever,
if
Nexus.
the Nexus will recognize it being on Game Pass.
It should because
it goes
Nexus
through-
Nexus doesn't go through like a very specific like it does. It's not gonna just check in Steam. It checks your entire
Nexus?
PC
Don't
for-
discriminate.
We'll see. I guess I don't know.
I'm just more concerned about like the Xbox launcher seeing it as like a defect and then just not launching.
I
Well, was
highly
that
doubt
too-
that.
Just a-
But you could always bypass launching it through the launcher, but I don't know how that works either on Game Pass or on Xbox
Yeah.
launcher.
Anyway, somebody do it. Somebody mod the Game Pass version and let us know. We would love to
Try
know
it.
that. Actually, there you go. Put it in the comments. And what we're talking about comments down below is well, we do this live on YouTube and we also do it live on Twitch. And also Bill and Enigma do an amazing job putting out short form, long form content for the show, and they put out some amazing videos. So if you ever have to leave the show or aren't able to join us live, you can always catch all of our content out there. Did you want to say something?
Yeah. I have an answer. So it can be modded. It's just if the mod
Clip mod.
developers support the Game Pass EXE.
Okay. So that's what I was wondering. I wonder, but Starfield can?
Can be
Well,
modded if the mod developers support the
Okay.
EXE.
Because
I imagine
Vortex,
will
which
allow
is Vortex, which is Nexus's like mod launcher,
Yeah.
It doesn't specifically like go through just Steam. It gives you like the ability to go and find the path.
Oh yeah,
for the,
like because I know they also support like GOG and other platforms. I just
Yep.
wasn't sure if Xbox was among that list.
Okay.
it would
well-
be stupid if they didn't.
It would.
Just put it that way.
More importantly, I just want to point out that one of our chatters has made it very well known that an abacus does not count as a calculator, so you can use it on a test. So thank you.
There you go.
There you
Thank
go.
you for that.
All the new college kids that just started up their fall semesters.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind.
Pull out the abacus. Fuck the calculators.
I always had the cool teachers
Bro-
that let us use
bro, let's-
calculators on tests.
Let's be real. We were talking about this earlier. Like the children these days can't even fucking drive a stick shift. You think they're gonna be able to use a fucking abacus? Like,
Well,
come on now.
Well, I
Listen,
mean, there's
I learned how to
one
learn-
dumbass millennial that knows how to drive a stick shift, and he's in our show.
And he's- and he's-
learned
he's
how to
the,
use
uh,
one of
he's
those
the
abacus
outlier, man.
things, and I drive sticks, so.
Yeah. How is and by the way, what we're talking about is Scruffy got a new whip. You got a new car. You haven't. If you
Yeah,
don't, if you
man.
don't follow him
Nice.
on the Twitters or the X's or whatever the fuck it's called these days.
Wherever it is. Yeah, I
Um,
post it pretty much everywhere though. But yeah, I got myself a new whip. First brand spanking new car, 2024 Honda Civic hatchback sport.
Was that Mama Scruff that was in the picture? By the way.
Yeah, that was Mama
Ah,
Scruff.
yeah.
I think I posted Mama Scruff on Discord, and then Papa Scruff was on another one too. Yeah, man, it's pretty slick though. Honestly, like I said, this is my first brand new car. Very excited. Just
Did
drove
you
it
get
around
the
all
Gap
day today.
insurance?
I did not. There was no need for me to get Gap insurance.
Did you get the
You are
extended vehicle
crazy.
insurance?
There's always
There
a
is-
reason to get Gap insurance. By the way,
No.
For real, there is actually always
Gap
like,
insurance
when
is
I
one of the
when I
few things you
bought
do get.
when I bought my my Jeep, and then it got totaled. That Gap insurance is the only
Dude.
thing that paid it off.
Or if you ever
Well-
trade in your car, like a Gap insurance
Yeah.
is such a kickback. It's a great thing to have.
Well, I did pick up insurance, but and it's transferable. So if I ever do trade it in, I'll be all right. But
Well, cool.
either way, it's a good one, man. I'm definitely excited. It'll last me
Nice.
a long time. Hopefully, knock on wood, knock on everything.
Fingers crossed, man.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Well, let's race.
Definitely.
We can put your car up against my car.
Okay, you will win. she's only a 4-cylinder. Okay.
She's a four
He'll
banger.
he'll win as long as batteries are charged.
Exactly.
if
yeah.
we're
They're gonna find the
racing,
supercharger.
Unplug your char. I'm gonna unplug your car before we start the race.
If we're racing, I'm gonna go get the Crown Vic back out.
Oh,
Oh man.
the boat.
It's an
right?
it's a V8, but it's an old V8, so I don't know how it would compete.
You know, well, it's okay. I mean, you know what? Actually, well, man, see, this is a perfect segue. I have a great segue into like Armor Core with this because like the Crown Vic is like the dude on treads, right? In Armor Core, you got Scruffy over there with his like bipedal fucking like light mech or whatever, and then mine is just like the super, I guess, energy efficient mech. I don't know what that would be. I want a Tesla.
What
would
is
be on that.
mine?
You don't have one. You ain't got legs.
Aren't
You,
you like
you
a
can
tank mech?
you can have the quad core.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can have the quad.
Wow.
The quad.
I'm gonna be a four-legged motherfucker.
Well, nobody can see your legs. You're a little robot over here. All I know is that you're
Yeah,
playing
I
with a
got-
I
controller.
got
Yes,
3
yes,
legs, not
You
4,
just float
bro.
around. Good God.
Anyway, this intro is taking forever. We've never derailed this long before. So, anyway, well, let's get into it. As we always kick off with news around the streaming platforms, and Twitch has got some new stuff to talk about. So they just came out, guys, with an update. This dropped, I think, like 2 or 3 days ago. Where they are updating how they calculate progress toward their Partner Plus program. If I'm not mistaken, isn't their Partner Plus program like the
This program is the
70-30
70-30 split.
Yeah,
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 it's
that's what I was
that it's that like special club that you get into when you make
Special.
over 100,000 or whatever.
Pretty much.
So essentially what they're doing here is they're making it a point system. And tier 1 and tier 2 and tier 3 subs will earn you a certain amount of points, respectively, towards qualifying.
It's
for
always
the
been a point
program.
system. They're giving it more of a
Transparency.
reason, transparency, and more of a reason to actually go for higher
I
tiers.
didn't, think, I
because
didn't know it was a
before
point
this-
system. It was a point system before?
Subs are always a point system.
Subs are a point system, but I don't think they ever had a point system for the Partner Plus
That's what
program.
I'm saying, the
The Partner
Partner
Plus
Plus
program was
program.
just a
Well, I
Partner
believe-
Plus
no,
program was
thought
just
before they
if
stated
you
that that it was tier 1 through 3 were all just 1 point each. Like there was no difference.
No, for partner plus program before this was just if you got into it, you got into it. You were special. You were super special.
Yeah, that's what I
So,
thought. I
Super
could've s-
special.
I could have
Okay,
sworn that.
maybe
Yeah,
so.
that
This because they didn't actually have a partner plus program up until
Then okay,
people
what
caught
it-
them.
what it- I think what
People
it
caught the
was-
super special club,
What it was,
and then
then
everybody was like, "What the fuck?"
is I do know for a fact though that sub points did always count, no matter what tier for.
I don't doubt it.
One
Yeah.
sub, 1 point. So this just goes hand in hand with they updated the sub point system to now tier 2 and tier 3 actually mean something, and it'll go straight into that partner plus program to get you in there, pretty much.
I thought this was and I was under the assumption, I think you were too, Bill, when I first saw
Yeah.
this. I don't know about the rest of you, but I thought this was like the partner plus program of like
I thought you
they
could just
didn't
buy
like the partner
like the partner
program. Yeah, like the
application.
partner program. But yeah, the more that I read into it, I was like, oh, this is bullshit. This is just their part. This is just them incentivizing
Yeah.
the
I listened-
partners to
This still
push.
only
tier 3.
affects like their top 1%. I
Yeah.
mean, this really still doesn't do too
Yeah.
much. I mean, it makes
So
it
it's
maybe
both
more
a-
achievable now, but still.
Yeah, so it's both a good thing and also a bad. Like it's a win and an L on Twitch's side because it's like it's still very like they're still only rewarding the, like you said, the top 1%. Like
Yeah.
70-30 split is still only available to the top 30% or the top 1%. You know,
Yeah.
so I don't know. Fucking Twitch,
Yeah.
man.
It's weird. I'm just glad it wasn't what I thought it was because I was like, do Gifted subs count to this, or are we just going to be able to buy partner now?
No, but
I mean,
uh,
if this system did come to like partnership, I think it would be a lot better personally, because at least then you're aware of what, because like the current partner program is just as bad as the old partner plus program. It's just you roll the dice and hope that you got enough fucking oomph for Twitch to give you a partnership, you know?
I
Yeah.
don't know. I
and-
still, even if this system did come to like affecting partner program eligibility, I feel like Twitch would still make it. It
they
wouldn't
would,
change
yeah.
the dice roll.
Yeah, it wouldn't
doesn't matter.
change
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
well, even
Yeah.
I mean, the they have a pretty straightforward kind of path to partnership now, and it's still you could hit all of those metrics, and they'll
That's
still tell
true.
you, they'll still
Yeah.
tell you no.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
Yeah.
you know, it doesn't really, and I would guarantee that honestly with this partner plus program, even if you hit all these points, even if you hit everything needed, which they are saying in here that they are going to go retroactive, I think with this, so
Yeah, they did.
July and
yeah.
August are going to be retroactive for it. But even with this, I guarantee that they're still going to be like, nah, we don't like you enough to give you the 70-30 split.
I wouldn't doubt it, man.
So,
Yeah.
Definitely.
But you mentioned gifted subs, and one of the companies that did talk about gifted subs and their kind of program is Kick. So Kick's head of partners, this guy, I'm not gonna even try to pronounce his online name.
Biggie.
Well, no, Biggie is like their it's just a streamer on their platform.
Oh, is that it? Okay.
Yeah. But the head of partners had a meeting with him and basically talked about their Kick paid creator incentive program platform. I don't know what I forgot what they call it, but First Class I think is the name of what it's called. And anyway, this is like where essentially you would stream for X amount of hours and get paid X amount to stream, basically as a job. And it's up to $2,500, I believe, is the total that you would get. And they talked about kind of the metrics that they look at when they're looking at this: CCV of 126, subs of 239 with gifting included, unique chatters of 337, followers of 1,500, and a minimum of 80 to 100 hours a month. He does say that this is not like set in stone. That these things are more of a just kind of a
Dude's got a nice
a metric.
mustache.
Well, it does have a very, very nice mustache. Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, the issue that I have here, the numbers are pretty weird. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I don't know where these numbers kind of
Yeah,
originate
they're
from.
very like
like-
239 is so like specific.
337.
Like 126. Like why
yeah.
wouldn't you just rise? Why wouldn't you just fucking roll that over to
Like,
like
sorry,
125 or 130?
125. You ain't got it.
Well, what is 239 times 5? Like, what does that come out to be?
I can do that. Let me get my
239 times five.
abacus out, bro.
Yeah, man.
So it's $11.95, right? That's how much.
Yeah.
I'm wondering because I was like, Enigma, you and I were talking about this last night around this program of being like, is this something that we see them going, hey, we're gonna pay, up to $2,500, but if you are gonna do the program, then we take 100% sub revenue up to $2,500, and then after that you get. So essentially, it's a loan, not a payment. So, I don't know. I just was wondering to see if that's where that math came from. But the gifted sub part is kind of weird, right? So I mean, that is a part where you could definitely, like, if you're on that cusp, go up to somebody and say, "Hey, throw me 239 subs."
That's
Listen,
very strange
to be real
to me
here,
as well.
If you're hitting all the other like things on there, I don't think your sub count is going to be like the biggest issue.
It's very strange to me as well, considering that like the gifted sub market on Kick is pretty big, and a lot of those gifted subs come from at least they used to the owner or whatever, Trainwreck. He's not the owner.
No,
Obviously,
it came from Ed, like Steak Eddie,
Trainwreck, Steak Eddie. A lot of those like upper echelon guys that kind of started the entire thing. Like that was a lot of people, like they were dropping hundreds of subs in people's chats there for a while, and I'm curious about. That's just not only that, but like the CCV as well. Like we were talking inside the podcast chat as well, that like Kick has a really bad issue with not actually like reporting accurate viewership numbers, right? So like, does that 126, does that include, are they actually going to try and like do something about their inflated viewership numbers, or is that just 126?
Well, I wonder if that
126
is not, or not the 126, but the number that we see, because that's a number that is at public facing, right? Like obviously they're behind the scenes sees a true metric. Now, yes, there's botting, but like I will definitely say as a streamer on that platform, like I know for a fact that like whenever I see 6, right, like it means that I have 3. If I see 8, I have 4. If I have 12, I have 6. I cut it in half, right? Like so I don't know what the deal is with necessarily that, but on their back end system they see
I know
a
what
true
the deal
number.
is. They want to inflate numbers to the public.
Well, I mean that's fine. Yeah, I mean I'm not saying you're wrong at all, but I'm just saying for this specific thing, like those numbers on the back end system and even to the public, like stream charts, all that kind of stuff, like none of that is that's all like that fake, that number that's up there for you as a streamer to see or a follower to see, it's quickly debunked by anybody that does like any kind of data scraping or anything like that. You go to Sully Gnome or whatever else. So it's just lazy. Like they should just fix the fucking thing like that. It just
but they're not going to, because it looks good on there, and that's why they haven't fixed it yet. So
yeah. Oh, I mean
I don't know. The
80 show to investors to keep them interested.
Yeah, the 80 to 100 hours is also something that kind of interests me, because like that was some people moving over. That was the reason why they moved over, was they were like, well, I don't want to necessarily, I want to move over to Kick because I don't want to stream for an ungodly amount of hour. Like I don't want this to be a main job. So granted, this is an option.
This is per month though.
Yeah, it's per month,
but it's still, but you know, that's
I mean,
like
you're talking, if you stream an average of 4 hours, you're
month.
talking 20 days, right? Like
it's I don't know. It's interesting to see what they're, and obviously it's optional as well. Like you can either go with the hourly pay shit, or you can go with your basic sub revenue, which correct me if I'm wrong, that's still 5 and
95
whatever, $95.
It honestly probably depends on like what kind of community you have. If you have a community that's like very generous in like the gift subs and the donations and stuff, you could probably opt out of this and be just fine. But if your community is more just oriented of watching the streamer and not gifting as much, then it might benefit the streamer more to go for this program.
Well, they're not saying that you don't get your 95.5. I'm just thinking ahead that I foresee that being a future thing as they open this up more. It's not saying that you can only choose one or the other. No. This is on top of that as it stands. I'm just saying, me looking into a crystal ball, I would foresee that probably in the future, as more people get onboarded to this, because right now it's just 50 creators that are on this as a test.
That's the big question we have, is how is this going to be sustainable for them on top of their already 95/5 split?
But I will say, look, man. I mean,
Yeah.
this is a move in a direction that nobody like YouTube has not thought of, Twitch has not done, you know, or whatever. And it's a shake to the
Twitch could never.
the
Well,
market.
I'm
landscape.
curious if it's not that they haven't thought of it. It's just that it's not feasible for them to do it.
Yeah.
or they don't want to. I mean, I mean,
Or they don't
you
want
know,
to, yeah.
They you know, don't want to. I mean, I can tell you right now, with this, I would still work full time and take that deal. Like if
Yeah.
I got to the metrics to say, hey, it's $2,500. That is me going, yeah, cool. I'm gonna bring in $2,500, even if I never get another gifted sub in my life or got a sub, get $2,500 for basically streaming for 80 hours. Like, yeah, why not? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know, kind of thing. So it's interesting. I think it's a shakeup that's good for the streaming landscape. Either way. So yeah. YouTube also came out with some interesting news. So for all you viewers out there that follow us and watch our show that are getting their that are taking our content and using it as your own, you know, you can now get off with a finger wag and go to class. Essentially, if you are a creator that, or you get a violation, they give you a educational training course or an option to take a training course to get one of those strikes. Does it remove all of the strikes or just one strike, or is it a strike specific that it removes?
I don't even think it's a strike. I think it's your warning.
Yeah, it's your warning. It
Before
looks
you
like
get
when
into
they
the
receive a
strike
community
system.
guidelines warning, and in exchange, YouTube will left that warning from their account.
Yeah,
Okay,
so if you get a strike,
you're
if you get a
still
strike, strike stick. But if you're like, basically, it's trying to curb early negative behavior on the platform by giving a second chance, effectively, before they start throwing strikes out there.
Okay. Okay, that's
Yeah,
okay.
I don't know.
I thought it was removing one of the your strikes, because or maybe I guess I'm thinking of strikes and this and the same, because you have what, like it's 3 times and then you're demonetized.
They're banned,
correct?
right?
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
done. Your channel's gone.
So is that what this removes?
A warning is different
these-
than a
yeah.
strike.
So I think you get a couple of warnings before you get a strike, or at least one warning before you get a strike, and those warnings stick to your account. So if you do it again, you get a strike instantly instead of a warning.
Isn't there, or maybe I'm wrong, isn't there different types of warnings too? Like if you get a warning for like copyrighted music, and then you get another warning for like, you know, an age restricted video for something vulgar. I don't know. Isn't they're separate, or is it?
I'm not
is
sure
all,
about that.
I have
Okay,
no
well,
clue.
No clue. Okay.
I'm
never
a
mind.
good boy, so I don't know any of the bad stuff.
I
But
get-
if I was bad, I could write
Well,
my
this is your
essay in
chance.
detention and get out of it.
That's what I was saying. This is your
Man.
chance. Be bad. Be
Test
bad,
the
Bill.
waters.
Be a bad boy.
Be bad, Bill, and
There we go.
and just go to class. Go to detention. You know that someone's going to game the system, right? Somebody is going to figure out what is like the line that I can do. Like, does the class
yeah.
like is it, you know, do I have to be good for a month and then like I can get detention again? Like, how many times can I get ISS before the principal throws me out, like of school?
Well, it
or
does
sends me to
say in
safe
here
school?
that if you attend this class, but you if you break that rule again within the 90 days of that class, then you get the strike, no matter what. I believe.
It's
I don't know.
it's funny, man. It's
YouTube
It
cracks
is-
me up
it's
with
kinda
this
silly.
shit.
It's-
Yeah,
it's-
YouTube cracks me up with this shit. Like if it's not them, you know, trying to ban swears from the entire internet, it's them trying to smack your hand with a fucking ruler because they want to be school teachers for some reason and treat us like we're fucking 5-year-olds. Like I don't understand that shit.
on that, you know what I think would be hilarious is that if they, you know how like, you know, I think GTA does like cheater lobbies or
Cheater lobbies, yeah.
So I
Yeah.
think what they should do is like they should have, if you're good, you get in the good side of YouTube. If you're bad,
good
you go to
algorithm.
bad tube. You go to bad YouTube or whatever else, and like it's just nothing but ads after ads after ads after
you're-
ads after ads. And that's it.
If you're good, you get reported to HR. If you're bad, you get reported to juvie. Is that what
Yeah,
you're
sure,
telling me?
sure. Why not? Yeah, absolutely.
You only get recommended annoying Orange and Fred videos for the
It
rest of
would
your time on
honestly though,
YouTube.
if you think about it, it would be a cool method, a cool like way of them to filter
Would?
content up to be like, hey, if you're good, like if you don't have strikes, if you're not an asshat, if you're not terrible people, like we're gonna push your content further up to the top. If you're shitty and terrible, you're never gonna get recommended, and you're gonna go to the
I mean,
like
they
the
al-
dregs.
They
It's like
already
e-
do that with shadow banning.
Yeah, they do
Yeah, but
shadow
I'm talking,
banning.
but,
so-
yeah, but let's be honest. Like, it doesn't really do well in the sense of like I'm talking about like elo. Like I'm thinking of like League elo hell,
But-
right?
but
Like you're
then
just trying to
again,
cleimb
there's-
out of that.
I just think
They're-
YouTube needs its own competitor platform like Twitch and Kick, where all the shitties can just go to the competitor platform, and that could be the answer.
If it was
Yeah.
that way too, YouTube's strike system is so flawed sometimes too. You
That's
can
my
get
biggest
strike
issue
for
with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
for something so minor, or even on a different side of things, people could intentionally copyright strike your content, you know,
Well,
and get
Did
you
you
pretty
did
much
you
brought
see the people
down.
that got that were getting banned heavily for Baldur's Gate? Like they were
Yeah.
they
Well,
had
Was it
I don't doubt
nudity?
it, man.
because the nudity stuff that was in
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And they were arguing that like, well, it's part of the game. It's not like whatever else, like it's and what are we supposed what are you supposed to, I don't know. So they were getting banned left and right left and right for it.
I was waiting for that.
on the tubes. So
Yeah.
so yeah, that
Yep.
is
Yeah. Teacher YouTube gonna slap your hand, and if you're not good, you get a warning. It's ridiculous, man.
well, yep. We got to have, all right, if the platforms don't policy us, then who's going to policy us? Who's going to tell us what we can and can't do? All right. Well, moving on to what we've been playing. I will, actually,
Well,
Bill,
moving on to what Sin's been playing.
well, no, Bill, I'm going to let you go first. Because this is something that
we can save the best for last.
wow.
Oh, we're gonna save No Man's Sky. Okay.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Surprisingly, actually, No Man's Sky was the last one on my list. So, all right, well, we'll kick off here with what I've been playing. So,
Buckle in, everybody. It's gonna be a long
no,
fucking ride.
it's not. I've got 3 games that I'm really, well, 4 if you include Armored Core. But so World of Warcraft Classic launched their hardcore version. Basically, the mod took off. The add-on did really, really well. The private, it's not a private, it wasn't a private server, it's just an add-on to the official game. Did really, really well, got a lot of traction. Shocker, Blizzard was like, oh, we
Blizzard
can cash
takes
in
that
on
shit.
this, and they're like, yoink.
Of course.
And
Yep.
Did they shut down the modded version as well?
No, they didn't shut the modded version down. You can still play the modded version if you'd like.
Well, that's
There's-
better than some of the alternatives that they've done.
Yet.
there's-
Yeah.
there's some different rules that the modded version has to versus. So this is, people are calling this hardcore softcore because you can trade
Parkour.
in this. You can run dungeons multiple times. It's not just I don't think it's just like a lockout kind of system, if I'm not mistaken. The auction house is open. So there's some different things that they have versus in the modded version. There's very strict rules, like you can't party with somebody outside of your initial duo. You can't there's a lot. So this is a more soft version of it. I don't know, I will say I'm enjoying it. I'm having a good time with it. It is through Classic, so you get to kind of re-experience Classic again. But there is an added level of dread, because if you die, you have to restart. The other thing that I think that was really cool is that they added Makra into the game. So you can duel to the death, which is really cool. As well, if you want to do that, and people have set up like duel to the death tournaments, which is pretty dope. So
That's pretty cool.
yeah, I don't know, I mean, again,
Is this a hardcore only server that you're on?
yes, so they have 2
Oh, I
hardcore
like
only
that.
servers.
Yeah.
And you have
That
to,
way, if you see somebody die in the world,
yeah,
like
they're
that
dead.
person
That's it.
is
Yeah. And
dead.
the one thing I don't understand why they didn't add to this that the mod has is what you're seeing in my left corner over here, which is the death log. So that's an added bonus. Every time that you see something like up at the top pop up, it says this person has died to this mob at this level in this area.
Oh man.
I don't know why they didn't implement that as a thing inside the game versus having to do an add-on. But I'm gonna tell you, man, day one, 100,000 people died. And one of the number 1 killers to it was the elevators at Thunder Bluff and the Undercity elevator. Killed
Yep.
a metric fuck ton of people.
Oh
So,
my god.
That's why I was
is-
talking to you about it last night, where I was like, I would never fucking play Classic hardcore simply because I know for a fact that's the kind of shit.
Oh yeah, I mean, you got to be
Is there
careful.
any
man.
way to There's nothing like in Diablo where you have the death of Ada potions or anything like that, right?
Not yet, at least. I don't think so.
You
I
mean
feel like they're
uh,
I feel like they're going to need something like that because some of the like in-game dungeons and like the 40-man raids and stuff, like there's some mechanics in there where somebody could potentially like grief the entire group,
So-
move a
Yeah,
move a
I was
mechanic
talking
over
about
top
it,
of
yeah.
everybody, and then just nuke an entire team.
So they have a
Yep.
they have a feature that you can report like if something like that is happening,
I mean,
and they will reinstate your character.
Okay.
But it's they have to have like evidence. Like one of our guildmates had a went into a low level dungeon. It was RFC, I think. And they were or RFK, whatever the Razor Fin area. And anyway, they were doing a dungeon. And a dude went in, pulled the entire thing, ran them back to them, and killed them all. You know, and again, in classic, aggro doesn't work how aggro works in retail. So if you like, for me,
Yeah.
I'm playing as a mage. One thing that a lot of people don't know as a mage is that if you go and Frost Nova then basically makes it so anything that is frozen will aggro to whatever is the closest thing beside it. It doesn't matter what it is. So you can go and control. And so if that happens, one of my guildmates died. He reported it, and he got his character back.
They need a
that's
better
good.
system because they're going to get over flooded.
The good
with
thing
that kinda
about
shit.
the good thing about like late game like raids, like those 40-man raids though, is that like if you're gonna be that dedicated to be a dickhead, like kudos on you, man. Like
Yeah.
you went through fucking 40 fucking levels of hardcore WoW.
I'm gonna be real with you. People are going to do that.
Oh,
because
I'm not
any-
saying they're
any-
not going to, but
Any
yeah,
We're
streamer that's playing
dedicated
this
to be
game, they're
dicks.
going to do it just to
for
make
sure.
that streamer
Yeah.
miserable. Like,
No, 100%.
Well, so again, the other thing that has also happened, because that happened actually in the mod, but that has happened too, where streamers are getting trolled, they're getting stalked and camped, and basically people are following them with twinks and dragging mobs to them to kill them, and they're getting like Blizzard, at least following them, is getting insta banned. So you know, again, it's something that you do have, but Enigma, I will say, like, I think Enigma does have a point where the higher up that you get, like, the less, like, because again, it takes a lot of time, man, to get
There's
to
a lot of
fucking,
work to get
to get
40.
to 30,
Yeah.
40, 50, 60 in this game. It takes a shit ton of work.
I think your first 40-man raid is it what 30, 35?
I don't know.
I wanna say,
I'm not there
something
yet.
like that.
So, and
So-
in OG, I soloed all the way until 60, so I never did any of that. So, but yeah, so while you do have to pay for the subscription, I do think that's pretty shitty. There is a rumor though going
wait, it's
around.
another subscription?
No.
Or
It's
is
part
it
of
just a
part of
tied
your
on
standard.
to
It's
classic?
just, it's just
Okay.
classics.
Yeah, it's part
Okay,
of your
cool.
standard. But there is a rumor going around from an interview that did happen with Phil and some people that I can't name that have said that there are very big talks about bringing WoW to the Game Pass. Like once all of
Wow.
this kind of stuff gets done, that
That's
WoW
me and Enigma
will
were
go
talking
to
about
the
that
Game Pass.
once.
I'd be really
But-
I'd be really interested to see if they'll do it because like that
Yeah,
WoW would
the first
WoW would be
sub
their
on
first
Game
sub
Pass.
based on Game Pass, yeah,
Yeah,
because they already have Elder Scrolls
ESO?
Online,
yeah.
yeah, and that's been you know ZeniMax and Bethesda have been a part of Microsoft for 5 or 6 years now, so but it would be definitely be a huge one for me, especially because like at that point I would 100% play WoW again if I didn't have to worry about making a sub. I just had to pay for a sub for Game Pass. Granted, I think that I'm worried that they would bring Game Pass's price up if that was the case, but we
It'll
have
probably
to
be its
see.
own tier if I had to
Possibly,
to
yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, anyway, so there's that. The other game that I played, and I'm actually really enjoying, and I think if you're fans of Castlevania, if you are fans of Rogue Legacy, any kind of real roguelike, this is right up your alley. This came out of nowhere for me. It was I didn't have it on my wish list. In fact, I found this game by scrolling through Twitter. And I'm gonna butcher the name. It's Summum Eternia, I think is how you pronounce it, but it's SUMMUM, Eternia. It is a sequel to another game, but this essentially is if Rogue
This
Legacy.
isn't Sundered, is it? Like the same people that did
No.
Sundered?
No.
This looks like it.
It is so if essentially if Rogue Legacy and Castlevania or Dead Cells had a baby, and this is what would be spit out. Love the art style first and foremost. Like I had to just like gush about the art style because it's a beautiful game. Like it is a demo. You can go and get the demo or pay $20 to play the full game. But I love this like there's something about the art style here that is very different than like your pixel of like Rogue Dead Cells and whatnot. It I don't know, it's a beautiful game all in all. But essentially if you've played one roguelike, you've played this. One of the cool things that I like about it though is that you can get weapons and you can attach upgrades and bonuses to those weapons. And then if you buy a new weapon, you can actually transfer those over if there's open slots to your weapons. So you can kind of make different builds, which is really nice versus just like in Dead Cells, you grab a weapon, that weapon has aspects on it and they're locked. This gives you some build variety to it.
That's cool.
It is I will say if you're playing on mouse and keyboard, which a lot of people will tell me like you're an idiot for playing mouse and keyboard on any kind of roguelike like this, it is a little tough. Like it's not the easiest thing in the world. It's definitely more built for a controller. But it's a blast. They also do this really cool thing with worlds and their seeds. So you start off and you get a generic seed. As you run through the level, you get more of these points and gold and ether and all this other kind of stuff, and your seed continues to grow depending on how, and I say seed not as in just seed of the world, but actually the seed that you use. So think of it like a plant will actually grow
you're
over
spreading
time.
your seed.
No, you're not spraying your seed. Your seed grows as you progress, and then when you die, that seed will become another level for you to play and so like at the start I will start at level 1. If I beat a boss or something like that, I will move the seed will move and I get enough kills to level 2. If I die, I now get a level 1 seed and I get a level 2 seed, and then I can take that seed back to the store and actually combine 3 different seeds to get a rare or a randomized spawn that may give me bonuses, that could give me power-ups, that give me more gold, or whatever else. Or if I want, I could put 3 level 2 seeds to get a rare level 2 seed. So it's cool how they generated like maps on this. I thought that was because I've not seen that before.
That is actually kind of neat. I do like that.
Yeah. And then obviously, you have your stores, you have your different weapons. They have guns, pistols, size, different armors, boss fights. Right now it's still in early access. There's 8 total bosses, I believe, that they have, 7 unique worlds. I may be get that flipped around. But it's a fun time, man. Like and also the other thing that I really love about this is that the way that you traverse the world. So if you have the sword, you can throw it and then warp to that sword and then dash again. So they've created worlds that are very like centered around this, and you can also throw your sword and stick it into a wall, and then
is that just something you can always do?
With that sword.
With that sword, okay.
Yeah, or with swords. So like guns get a different ability, size will have a different ability, swords will have a different ability. But they each have their own kind of unique secondary kind of thing.
Is it challenging, or is it it looks pretty tough, honestly.
It's a roguelike. So it's hard at the beginning and then gets easier as you continue to progress.
Right.
But I don't like, I'm 100% down for this. I played the demo. If you want to try it, go, or are unsure, go play the demo and see if you like it. But I guarantee that you'll probably fall in love if you do like these style of games. $20 right now on Steam, well worth the money in my opinion.
Good Steam Deck game probably too.
Yeah. So it does not have ultra wide support, I will tell you that, but that's more of a me thing than it is for anything. But it's a great game either way. Summum Eternia. All right. Moving on to Hyenas. Actually, Scruffy, you played this too, so it's not just a my game. It's not just a
Yeah,
me.
I played a round or two. I literally, when I saw you post that in the Discord, I saw Opera GX gave me a key, so, so I got in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you want to? I mean, I've
At
been
least
talking
all
for a
that
little bit.
embedding's getting good use.
So,
Yeah, right, dude. I mean, I literally just jumped into it and kind of skimmed through it because I only had like an hour to do so before the podcast. But as far as I can tell, it's another kind of like multiple team extraction shooter, first person shooter. Yeah, this one's got a take of like kind of a retro themed 80s style synth wavy. And you're like this group of bandits that go into what I think is like a spaceship or something that you're like kind of pulling almost like GTA heists, mini GTA heists on like vaults that are around the spaceship, all while fighting sorry, waves of like AI and battling the other teams. I believe it's four teams of three.
yes.
Up to three. I saw some solo players too, so it doesn't have to be a full team of three. You know, all while trying to collect the vault goodies. And it's made by Sega, so some of the goodies do include or it's published by Sega, but some of it's like Sonic. Yeah,
Oh,
dude,
it's so
Sonic the
funny.
Hedgehog's like some of the
You have the
merch, that's what they
Atari.
call
It
it.
all
Like,
makes
there's
sense
a-
again.
there's
It all
Atari.
rounds back to the furries.
Yeah.
Fucking weird. Man.
There
It's-
is literally quite literally a Sonic the Hedgehog like mascot
Character,
player character. Yeah.
Of course there
Yep.
is.
Yeah. I don't know,
Um,
man. I mean, it
it's-
adds some humor to it that I think like I think it's understanding it's not taking itself too seriously, like right?
Yeah.
Like I think what it's trying to do here is be like, okay, cool. We're gonna, we know that this genre has a thing. And my son was asking me, he's like, is it fun? I was like, yeah, it's fun. He's like, is it, do you think it's gonna be competitive? I was like, absolutely not. Like, there's no world where you're gonna see this be the next big thing.
Oh, like competitive like esports, no, but it will be competitive.
Yeah. I mean,
Just
like
because
esports style or,
players
like,
will
yeah.
make this competitive. Esports, no. Like no
Right.
competitive scene, no. Not unless somehow it pops off.
I will say that like the characters themselves like have like different abilities and different like they feel very good. Like each one feels unique in its
See,
own way.
That's
Go-
what I was most impressed about when I even
Yeah.
just first launched the game. I had no idea what I was getting into. Like I remember this game now, but I totally had
there's the
forgotten about
Sonic.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there he was. But yeah, man, I mean I chose to like unlock, they give you a free unlock. I chose to unlock the Black Swan like ballerina girl.
yeah. Again,
She
all of
looks
it,
psycho.
you know what this reminds me of too is if you remember the finals, right? Like the finals have been out kind of in
Definitely the
open beta.
finals.
It's got some of that feel to it.
It's got some Borderlands feel to it, like the
oh yeah,
humor.
the art style. Well, that and the art style, like it is like
yeah,
a
the
cell
cell
shaded,
yeah.
kind of style of game.
And then I compared it to a BR that if not many people might know about, Radical Heights. It's that like 80s synthwave style game with the announcer overhead and whatnot.
Yeah.
So
what I do like about this is with most extraction shooters, they try to take themselves very, very seriously. Like, you look at
Yeah.
Marauders, you look at Tarkov, you look at whatever else. This is kind of the complete opposite. Like it's and the shooting in it is actually very good. Like it feels good.
Yeah.
I didn't have any
people
issues.
are kind of spongy, but they're also not like tanks. Like
the
can,
the at least
the
so I've played
PvE
like
is
9 or 10
squishies.
matches. The PvE are they do have some tankier things, but
heavies
most
are yeah.
most people like I don't think it's not nearly as bad as like Apex. Like in my opinion, Apex, like
Apex
where you're
is-
trying to
yeah.
crack shields, like they have shields in this, but it's nowhere near of what like that is. Like if you're
Yeah.
not careful, you'll die. But I like the fact that they don't take themselves super seriously. I also like the fact that it's a small ship that you're going into. Like you are going to get into action. There is no way to
Yeah.
do this and not get into a fight, which I think is good.
And I believe, because I only played one match and it ended while I was still fighting another team. So I guess just one team has to extract and game over. Do you know?
Correct. Yeah. So one team,
Yeah.
if one team extracts, then it's game over, but they have to extract with a certain amount of cash. So they can't
Okay.
just go in, grab the merch, and then get out. Right.
Yeah.
They actually have to have, I think it's 10,000 worth to do it. This game also too, just so everybody knows, it is in closed beta. You can get access by going in and requesting access, or apparently having
Or
Opera GX and just getting a
Opera
fucking
GX.
a broken key.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, man. It's fun. It's cheek, it's cheeky, it's fun, it's goofy. It's
It does have some likable characters, like he was saying. Like I got a kick out of some of the humor in it. There's when you're putting like the thermite charge on the vault, you blow into a cartridge as you would like an N64. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah,
I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah.
So it's quirky, man, but it's kind of cool.
It's
And
also
it plays well, man. Like it actually like it's pretty fluent. I'll give him that.
It works. Like it actually
It works.
It just works, And I think honestly, this is the more move toward getting away from like the BRs, all this other kind of stuff. Yes, it's extraction-y, but it reminds me more of a arena shooter than it does necessarily a quote unquote extraction shooter. Like, yes, you have to extract, but
It's
that's
still in
not
that
this.
vein, yeah.
Right.
But that is where like we have moved away from BRs. Now extraction shooters are the big thing, but you are right. This is more of that arena kind of style, which is nice.
Yep. All right. So that's Hyenas. Again, you can go request an access and get into that. Let's talk about Armored Core. Bill, this is something that you and I have been playing.
Yeah.
So, what is it? Let's talk about it.
It's the newest game from Software. It is one of the oldest running series that From Software has had. There's like 15 of these games. I had no fucking clue.
What? Really?
Yeah, I mean, you're talking old school PS2 days, man. Like,
did not know that.
It's been around for a long time.
I was never into mechs, so I never got into this kind of stuff.
Yeah, so there's been a ton of games in this, and this is the newest one. This has also been the best advertised one because I knew of the franchise, but I've never seen like when the game's released or anything like that. It feels like they're finally taking that Souls-like money and that Sekiro money and like injecting it into one of their older franchises and bringing it out into the limelight. And they did it in a big way, man. It's a lot of fun. I have never played a mech game before in my life. So this was my first experience in the mech genre, and I am completely and utterly addicted to the gameplay loop that this game brings out. I'm only up through chapter 2 as of right now, but I am very much enjoying what this game has to offer. Even going back and replaying missions to farm credits to get different parts and different weapons and stuff is something that I'm just like extremely fond of.
This mic you have looks amazing.
Yeah, this is my quad mech, the squid. So
I love this.
So
I didn't know you could be this creative with your mechs.
oh my god,
Oh, yeah.
yes. So that's
the amount of customization in this game is ridiculous. From the amount, like the parts that you put on. So each mech has arms, head, chest piece, legs, weapons in the front hands, and then weapons on the shoulders that you can equip, as well as
each of those have like 15 fucking die areas or some shit like that. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, they all have different diaries for paint jobs and stuff like that. And on top of that, you also have to factor in your engine, your targeting chips for your artillery, like your missiles and stuff, a bunch of other things. It's honestly wild, and each one of the different types of legs is going to differentiate how your mech controls specifically. So like this mech, the quad leg, it is designed specifically for what it is showcasing right here, where it has a hover mode that uses very little energy to maintain distance off the ground and give you aerial superiority over whatever you're fighting. This guy cannot reach me because he has to use all of his thrust to jump up to me to even get close, because all he has is a shotgun and a melee weapon.
Wait, is this just a regular boss battle, or is this a real person?
This is a mini boss. Yeah.
Oh, okay. There is
But
no
there is
PvP. Is
there is? Yeah, there's
is.
1v1,
I was gonna say
1v1,
that would
2v2,
be.
and 3v3.
I could see that being a lot of fun, actually.
Yeah,
So-
1v1, 2v2s, and 3v3s.
Good.
And then there's another, like, you have your standard bipedal mechs, which have just the dual legs that are your kind of jack of all trades thing. But there's also a augment of those that have backwards facing legs, which give you like a high jump boost for like more vertical play. There's the tank treads that keep you pretty grounded. You don't get to put a booster on them to give you like more verticality, but they have the thing where they can like drift. If you boost in a certain direction, you'll actually drift your treads around, and they can shoot in any direction while going in the opposite direction, which no other mech can do.
So Bill has been asking me feverishly, like over the week, since I picked this up, of like, what do you think? What do you think, Sin? What do you think?
Well, the
And
only reason I was asking is because you picked it up, you played it for like an hour and a half, and then you were on to Halo. So I was like, fuck, he hates it.
No. So okay, so a little history about Little Sin. I loved the shit out of Armored Core. Played the shit out of Armored Core on the PS2, Xbox 360 days, Chrome Hound, all of that. So Mech Warrior, Mech Assault. Those were my shit. Those were my jams. I loved them to death. And so the way that I play these games is kind of that. And I will say that I think this game has I think it's a good, and I think it can be a bad for certain people, like depending on how your play style is. You're either gonna love it and you're gonna dive into it and play nonstop, play it like full through, kind of like what Bill's experiencing going through it, or you can play like me, where I go in, I do a couple missions, I get some stuff, I have some fun with it, I toy around, do some more missions, and then I jump out, right? Like for me, it's not I never played those games specifically, or the Armored Core games, where I just like mainlined them constantly because of the style. Now I will say, once the arena opens up, because you have two different and I have not gotten to the arena, I don't know if you've gotten to the arena yet.
Yeah.
And the arena is what I used to love the most, and that was going up against other mechs. And I don't know if this game is the arena PvP or is the arena.
The arena is PvE, and then you have your online, which is the
good.
nest.
So,
it's like your black
yes.
market.
I think they have an arena that's PvP later on in the game as well, don't they? I thought they did.
If
they may, but
like the arena is what I love to death, because again, that's me going up against another mech, that is a computer, and just basically challenging my mech to see how high I can get, and I would tweak it, and I would have fun with this. So that's where I love it. So it's not, I didn't get off of because I didn't like it. I got off of because that's just how I play these games. And I was gonna say, if this is your first Armored Core game or mech style game, I would be very mindful just to make sure to understand that this plays very old school style Armored Core, which is good. That's what they needed. It's very nostalgic for me. I love it. But newer mech games do not play like this, like it, where you go in and you're playing, where you have like a lot of kind of customability, or like they did a fan service, like literally going into it. And I remember, because I was talking to Stevens when he was watching me, and he's like, you seem to know a lot about this. I was like, dude, this is legitimately Armored. This is my childhood. This is Armored Core 2 slapped with new paint. And giving me an upgrade. Like, yes,
I've heard that comparison before. I've heard it's like a mix of Armored Core 2 and then Armored Core for Answers.
Yes, it is very much those. And so if it's fun, it's enjoyable. Yes, there's a lot of customizations. You said you have 8 mechs. Is that what you said?
I have 5.
Five mechs. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I will say, do you think that the game is getting like the difficulty of it, people are like kind of being like, oh, it's so it's super. I've yet to have a point where I'm just like, this is fucking super hard. Like the first boss was an asshole. Like I'll give it that. Like that.
How far have you gotten into it?
For a while.
So I've let me see.
Have you beat chapter 1?
I think so. I don't want to ask because I don't want to spoil it for anybody else.
Don't do spoilers.
But I believe so. I'm not 100% if I've beaten chapter 1 or not.
Okay, we can talk about it off stream. Chapter 1's the moment where the difficulty really set in for me. The tutorial boss wasn't that big of a deal. And I know a lot of people are having issues with that boss specifically. It's kind of a filter boss is what the meme is right now. But
as that
chapter
big
1
ship.
The big,
it's
the
like
big gunship in the tutorial.
Yeah, it's like the flying guy. So,
but yeah, chapter 1's where the difficulty spike set in for me. That being said, being new to this franchise and having never played one before, it only took me about a half hour of like experimentation to find a build that could beat it. And that is something that I was warned about ahead of time because I have a coworker that's very into these games as well. And he's like, "You play the Souls games, right? Okay, don't play this how you play the Souls games. Don't just pick a play style and then run
Right.
your face into the wall, or you're gonna have a real bad time and you're gonna hate it."
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you're like,
He's like, try something once or twice. If it's blatantly not working, you need to change your parts out because that's how these games work. It's
yeah.
a go in, die in 30 seconds. Okay, that
Yeah.
didn't fucking work. Well, let's try this loadout then.
Right. So I mean, this is, and he's absolutely right. I mean, I have probably bought more parts pieces, you know, where you build 5 different mechs. I take one and just buy like a whole bunch of different shit, and I'm just like throwing stuff on, like, you know, putting.
Well,
you
the
know,
only
whether-
reason I've built out the mechs the way that I have is because I'm too lazy to go in and actually like
Keep swapping.
do the sortie system. Because one of the big quality of life things that I understand from this game that wasn't in the other games is if you die to a boss, the checkpoint system allows you to bring in a different mech than you ran through the level without having to run through the level again. It gives you that checkpoint. You can go in, change out your mech stuff, and then go directly into the boss. It kind of makes it a little bit more of an ease of access in that regard. But I'm still too fucking lazy to go in and actually swap around weapons, swap around frames and stuff. So I build in my mind what is going to work in specific scenarios, so that way I just have them on standby. I can be like, okay, I'm going to load up mech number 5 and give it a try with this boss, see if it does any better than what mech number 2 did.
So if they go the route in the PvP, if you ever do PvP, I don't know. If
I
you're
do
going
plan
to,
on
or,
doing PvP. Yep.
or even the arena PvE mode if they do it. Whereas in the old school version, they used to have it. That'll benefit you having multiple mechs because in the old school PV, well, the arena, because PvP really wasn't necessarily a thing as much, but you would have a certain amount of mechs that you can you kind of earn as like waves. So like as that mech dies, you get to load up your next mech, right? And the team that goes through all their mechs is the losing team. And
That's
so
It's like Pokemon.
kind of, yeah. So like but it was cool because again, as it kind of progressed, and Chrome Hounds I think did this the best. They had like an ongoing where you would have like, I have my scout mech, so I'm gonna have my mech that I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna like figure out where they're at, scout them out, give you an intel, and then that's probably gonna die. But then I'm gonna come in with like my heavier mech, and now that guy's gonna be like my my frontline defense while you're gonna do sniper shots and stuff like. So there,
I also have a recon mech.
yeah. So it's honestly, man, like the game it's a blast. It's so nostalgic if you are a fan. We have people in chat that are saying like they're big fans of Armored Core. This is legitimately, they did such a fan service. And also congratulations to From Software. They brought out like not because From did this, but just they're the what they brought out a port on the PC and it's not fucked up. Like it actually works and it plays
I've heard this
perfectly
port's
fine.
actually clean.
Yeah,
Like
it's very
super
good.
clean.
Yeah, no issues whatsoever at all. So like it just works. So it's a blast. It's a fun game.
Y'all seen those people that have like full joystick setups for this game, dude? Like in preparation, I've seen somebody who has like a whole cockpit for this game.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
like,
that's
wild.
a
That's
mech
Mech
thing.
Warrior as well.
Okay,
Yeah.
that is awesome.
I also
honestly.
want to put
There's-
something to bed because I was curious about it, and I've heard some people. I don't know if it's a meme like trolling people or if this is actually like a thing. Was there a time where you like had to hold the controller like this to play these games like effectively? Like this is what people on Reddit are calling the Armored Core stance.
Yeah, it's so that originated from Armored Core 2.
Okay.
And yes, so if again, Armored Core 2, what made you stand out was and I'm happy that they have. I'm hoping they again. I've heard that they have it. I hope they have it. The leaderboard system in this with the arena, that was competitive as shit. And so yes, like if you were a competitive Armored Core player, you played with your controller backwards and you played it because that was the most effective way to play the game.
So that's not bullshit.
It's not
Wow.
bullshit. It was a legitimate thing. And I think it'd be hilarious if it comes back. If that's like the higher
you,
arena
Sin?
people rank.
That's the question. Did you?
Did I? Oh
did
yeah,
you
no.
hold it
I was
backwards?
I was very, very competitive.
Oh,
did
man.
was I good at holding it backwards? No. But I did hold it backwards to play the game because the button it wasn't that so being able to play this on mouse and keyboard, like for me, I'm just like, oh my God, like this is easy. Like I can like, keybind all over the place.
I'm
and whatever,
surprised this
so-
isn't a game that you plug in a controller for though.
What? Oh,
Just
no.
for that
I'm not going to
nostalgic.
back. I'm not going back to backwards plate facing controller. It's just not.
Well, yeah.
It's a good time. So I'm glad you're enjoying it, Bill. And I would love to team up, do some 2v2s. And have you guys seen some of the wild like color combos that people have done?
Yeah, there's already people. So the cool thing about this game as well is if you go onto like the Armored Core Reddit and stuff, people are uploading like build
Yeah.
codes. You can actually download people's
Oh, that's
builds
cool.
and their paint schemes and stuff to use yourself.
Yep.
And there's a ton of like Gundam builds going on.
Yeah.
There's some wild stuff going on, and it's really nice to see the. I'm happy for this community. I know that they have lived kind of in the shadows. It's neat to see them be brought out into the mainstream. And as a member of the Souls community myself, it's pretty fucking funny to see them being gatekept as hard as they are from a franchise based on difficulty alone. Like that makes me chuckle. All the get goods are being turned inward now.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is you mentioned the going on Reddit and downloading that kind of stuff. So again, when I say this is a throwback to nostalgia, this is because I remember taking my fucking PS2 memory card to the library because my library had my group had some active Armored Core players, and we had an area that you could plug in your memory card and go download different mechs and upload them to the arena or upload them to your thing and play off those mechs. Like that is all very nostalgic. Like
Wow.
it's such
That's
a
dope.
yeah. They did a good job. Like this is such a fan service game. You know, and and for anybody that's new or old. So I'm super stoked that you're enjoying it because you know, I wasn't even interested in this because I didn't know all this stuff. Like I'd done some of the Armored Cores, and I'll be honest,
from what I
they were some
understand,
shitty versions.
Armored Core 5 was like a big turd on the
Yeah, it was bad.
like the genre. Like I heard it was a very like bad game and it pissed off the community big time.
Yeah, I mean the Armored Core community, the mech community has not had a whole lot. And seeing what really turned me to was seeing you play and being like, oh my god, I remember this. Oh my god, I remember this. Oh my god, this is my game from my childhood. I'm gonna go play it. And it's such like so kudos to them. They did a great job with it.
Hell yeah.
So $60, I think, on Steam.
$60 everywhere.
$60 everywhere.
Nice.
Okay, cool.
Yep. Sony didn't strong arm them like they strong armed Larian.
Yep. So, well worth the price if you are a mech fan, or if this genre interests you. If you just kind of want to dabble into it, this is a great one to start into the mech world.
I'm gonna be real. I'm a From Software shill, so that's the only reason I picked it up, and I'm so happy I did.
Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it. Awesome. So moving on, Mr. Enigma. You played No Man's Sky Echoes, the new update.
Yeah, man. We're 7
Did we
years
save
of
the best for last?
I mean, we save the best always for last. No Man's Sky, we always talk about No Man's Sky last because it's the best. Sorry, I'm rambling. I'm not feeling good. I apologize, guys.
You're good.
Morning.
We
Hope you feel better.
we got the new update Echoes. We've been hearing rumblings about this. We've been hearing echoes about this recently. Ever since they announced their 7-year anniversary. If you guys are not aware of what No Man's Sky is, they continuously push out new updates, like banger updates as well, for free, like multiple times a year. I think this year we've had like four or five now, maybe like 3 or 4. I think
it's 3,
including this one. So
4 including this one.
I think it's 4 including this one. So and each one of those has just built upon this game in general, which is impressive considering where it came from. We always talk about that. This one, they kind of decided to go deeper into like the universe and kind of trying to breathe a little bit of a fresh breath of air into the universe. Because granted, they have been bringing a lot of new stuff out. It's kind of gotten a little stale with some of the things that they've brought in. It's been systems, not too many like huge systems other than like piracy and a couple of other things. But they introduced their first new race into the game since the release 7 years ago, which I think they're called Atarians or something like that. They're robots. Which is interesting because
over this.
Yeah, which is interesting because we already have robots. Like we already have the I can't remember their names. I'm blanking on their names right now, but we already have like a robotic race. But this is like legitimately like full robots. And the coolest part about this is like the way that they introduced it is like you have to go on like a quest to find these people, this new race, right? But during that quest, you also get the ability to customize your character with new robotic limbs, new robotic like attire, everything like that. So everything inside of that, yeah, people are going nuts about that because it's just like an entire thing of customization on top of what we already had, which was already a decent amount of customization. On top of that, we also got this thing called and let me try and find where the fuck that is. It's a sci-fi ceremonial staff. I don't know what they call it. But it's like a new multi-tool. Instead of having like a gun like you used to have, it's a staff now that you can like upgrade with different abilities, different, weapons, mining, everything like that. Which people, again, rightfully so, are freaking out about, which is crazy.
You get your Gandalf on.
Yeah. It does look really cool, man. Like they did a really good job with like the customization and everything like that. I haven't got the staff yet, but I have gotten the robot race, and they're both supposedly really good. The robot race alone has impressed me.
Is that who we're seeing
right
right,
off the
here?
bat.
Is that like
Yes.
this?
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
nomad
All of these
robot.
yeah,
kinda
all
dude?
of the guys that you're seeing on the screen right now are the robots, as far as I can tell.
Can you play as one of those right off the gate, or like?
No, you
No,
have
you
to
have
go
to-
and
that's
find
what
them.
I'm saying,
It's
it's
you have to go and unlock it with a
unlock 'em.
quest.
Okay.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
So and the only downside about that quest is like you do have to do like the full as far as I can tell, I didn't get the quest until I had finished like the Atlas quest and all the introductory quests and done some of the stuff from the previous updates. So you do have to do a little bit of work to get to it, which isn't a bad
I don't
thing
think
if
that's
you
bad
ask
at
me,
all.
because it kind of forces you to like go through and look at some of the other stuff that they've added, like these pirate frigates, which we didn't have. You would have just seen it. They're brand new. They added the pirate faction about I think 2 or 3 updates ago, maybe 3, and they were only in form of like ships. You could run into like pirate faction ships that would attack you. You could take bounties to kill pirate faction ships, everything like that. You could go to these pirate faction space stations, which were really dope. Like they did a really good job with the pirate faction in general. But we had never had frigates, and I'm curious if we can actually find these frigates, these pirate faction frigates, to use for ourselves, because that would be even cooler, in my opinion.
Pretty cool.
I like the pirate faction. I literally just got the pirate stuff last night. We were talking to Sin, and he was there when I got it. I was like, should I go pirate or not?
Absolutely, you should.
So
Always
like
go
you
pirate.
can join the pirates, or like
Yeah.
be
You
a
can join the
pirate?
pirates. Yep. You
That's
can join
cool.
the pirates if you're a
I would
pirate, though.
definitely
You
join the
can't.
pirate.
You can't like you can go to other systems that aren't pirate faction systems, but you're not going to be able to use like the facilities inside the
Or,
non-pirate
like
faction systems,
trading and whatnot.
unless you get this this like forgiveness plaque or whatever like that, whatever it is. You got to go and do a bunch of like
You have to take an
side
online
missions for it.
class, right?
Pretty much, yeah. It's basically YouTube. Pretty much. I mean, it is red. It is YouTube, so
Right.
that's accurate. Yeah.
Exactly.
But they added a bunch of stuff. They added like the ability to start cataloging some of your discoveries. So like they now have like this weird museum that you can like put your holographic discoveries whenever you scan things. Like if you scanned a really dope looking animal, you can now make that into a hologram and decorate and display on your base and everything like that. They're saying that they're going to do a new expedition, which if you don't know what expeditions are, those are their seasons. I think they do one of those. It's not that often, but they go for a long period of time, and their drops are really cool. If you did not get into the drops on Twitch, unfortunately they are over, which surprised me because I didn't even know they were doing drops. So that's my bad. I got on the last drop and got the ship off of that. So and those drops on Twitch are huge. Like they give you multi tools, they
everything,
give
yeah.
you ships, yeah, everything, heads, like cosmetic stuff, everything like that. So I'm hoping that they have another drop, which I'm expecting they will for the actual expedition.
Yeah.
That'd be nice. But
Which I think the expedition
I'm hoping that.
starts next week.
should
if I'm
be
not
should be
mistaken.
here pretty quick. Yeah,
I think
which
it's next week.
that's one thing that I have to be like, come on, Sean, like come on, guys. You released this the same week that Starfield is
Bro,
coming out.
I
Like,
think that's on purpose, and I
Oh,
commend
100%.
Sean Murray for it because I'm just gonna
man.
say This is the better Starfield.
There's
I
no
don't know.
way they
We'll
didn't do that
see.
on purpose.
We'll see. I will
It's-
say it's good. I will
Look,
say it's good. They did a really good job with it, and I'm really impressed with some of the stuff. We'll have to see, but it definitely it kind of screws me over because I want to play Starfield, but I
Right.
also want to play this, and like they both fit in the same genre, right? So it's like I have to choose one or the other.
Same
you know?
genre to a point, because I know No Man's Sky has grew to a point now that it does kind of have like a story, right, and like a progression
Yeah,
to it.
no, it's had a
right?
story since it released, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Okay.
They expanded upon it,
But it's
yeah,
more survival than RPG.
pretty much.
As
Yeah,
in Starfield is more RPG than survival.
it's more of an
I-
RPG
so
for
like,
sure.
Yeah. So
I mean,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, the biggest I think that this is where you're drawing your line is like you're dropped in and basically you have kind of a guidance, but you're basically told go.
It's
Like,
free form.
Go
Yeah, you
do
can do
whatever
you
the
want
fuck
to.
you want, and I love that.
If you
right?
if you want to completely ignore the storyline, you pretty much can.
Right.
You're going to be missing out on a lot of like your discoveries, your easy discoveries. But yeah, you can completely ignore it if you want to.
yeah.
But
So,
then-
like
the other
this-
thing it has is multiplayer. So like if you're a
Yes.
multiplayer guy, like obviously that's a huge thing for Sin, and so. But yeah, it's got some good stuff. They also released with rendering quality improvements, stability performance improvements for the across the board for the game. New in particular for PSVR 2 players, which were apparently having some issues with rendering. I think
Can you play with VR
you
players?
can't play on
and
VR.
P-
Yes. Yep.
Like with PCR.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
So it's all based off of like a system of like drop in drop out on your friend's
And
world.
Switch.
It's not like yeah,
You play it
and
on
it has
Switch.
a Switch. Yep, it has Switch. I think they really switched on the last one, didn't they? Or was this new?
The Switch,
Because this is performance improvements on the Switch.
Yeah,
New
that-
anti-aliasing solutions, everything like that.
I
So
want to
Is it
say
still-
I think
was
that
like
was
2 seasons
either
ago.
I think that was either last one or the pirate one that they
Is it
released
still
on the
really
Switch.
rare to see other random people in the world, or
No,
No,
like I
not
said,
anymore?
multiplayer is drop in, drop out. So like if you, myself, and Sin wanted to play, we could
Well, yeah,
literally
but,
get
like,
in,
you guys
play,
could,
and
like,
be on the
kinda
same
group
planet.
up. Right,
Well,
but like
so-
like a random person, like say you're just going through planets and you find some
No,
random
I mean you.
person.
So you,
no.
you go
Is that
to
more
a.
rare, or is it?
So the way it,
Yeah,
so,
it's all open. Yeah, you
Yes.
go into like a it's called, I think it's called the Eye.
Yeah,
Or
the
it's
Eye.
it's like a space station that it's like a hub platform for everybody that you can go into, and you see everybody in the hub platform. It's got like your Twitch turn in place right there. It's got whenever they finally do bring out this this expedition, it'll have a little area that it gives expedition quests, and everybody that's there basically gets a notification that somebody accepted an expedition quest, and you can actually
Okay.
like do that expedition quest with them if you want to.
With
So,
them?
like, it's very-
Is there any combat between players or no?
Yeah. Yep, with that
So
pirate
there is
faction one,
PvP?
they added in PvP and pirates and everything like that, which
Okay.
Sin's probably happy about that because he's the kind of dick that'll go
Not
around
wait
and
to
ruin
bring the
everybody's-
warden to No Man's
ruin
Sky,
everybody's
baby.
fucking
Better
fun,
not be
man.
fishing
So-
on any random planet flagged up. And just
but it
This
is
a game I really need to get into.
yeah, you
need
do,
to
man.
Give it a shot, man.
it's on
own
it's
it.
cheap.
I
Oh,
own
you
it.
do own it? Okay.
I own it, man. I have no reason. To
The-
not
yeah,
play
you
it.
have no reason to not play it, but it is on Xbox Game Pass. So if
Yeah.
you don't own it, it's there on Xbox Game Pass. It's usually on sale for most sales.
Yeah.
From what I've seen, for pretty fucking
I think I
cheap,
got
man.
it
Like
for
they
$20 or something.
yeah, they
like that.
usually discount it pretty heavily,
Yeah.
but like the amount of content that we've gotten from No Man's Sky over the past 7 years for free completely is
For
it just
free?
baffles me, man. And it makes me
and
really
it's
happy to see him because
no
like
stop in sight either.
yeah, it makes me really happy to see it because like they went from being like at the time of their release like one of the most hated
bro.
yeah,
Oh,
one of the most hated fucking developers to like everybody sings their
Praised.
praise now.
Yeah.
So
How much you want to bet
It's
that
crazy, man.
they're gonna add in the ability to like build your ship, like mod a ship, like how you know how like in Starfield it's like this
Like
like
in Starfield, yeah.
director set like build out your
I
ship.
mean they allow you to build your frigates. Like you can customize the interior of your frigates. You can't customize the exterior
That's what I'm
of it.
talking
Like
about,
once
like
you
the exterior.
once you
stuff.
get a frigate, it's like that's the exterior. It would be cool if they did that, but
Bro.
I could see
Yeah.
that coming.
This game, this
Would be
game
interesting.
is legitimately becoming what Star Citizen is.
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
Like by the time
That's
Star
what I
Citizen
was
launches,
gonna
No Man's Sky's gonna be
go
like, well,
into.
we're
Yeah.
we already did it. Like, so
Yeah.
My buddy
Like,
Solid will probably fucking crucify you for saying
fine.
anything
Hey,
bad about
Does-
it.
Solid,
does
put
this
your
game
comments
have,
down below.
Does this game have VoIP?
Yeah.
I do not believe it has VoIP.
Well, it does. No, it has voice, but you have to be.
Party.
Yeah, I think you have
you're
to be in
not.
the
You
party.
can't just
yeah.
hear like random
Yeah.
chatter.
Because
It's not open chat, yeah.
If they implemented like an open VoIP, like this game would be such a good RP game. Like you were saying, like Star Citizen is like
For sure.
that
Yeah.
space RP game. This game could become that for sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, then
it's
what's gonna happen
really
is
good,
we're actually gonna cross worlds with Armored Core. So then you're gonna be able to land and then get into
they
your
do
mech
have-
on
yeah,
Armored Core.
They
and
do
then go-
have mechs. They do have mechs in the game. Mechs were added in the game with the Sentinel update. So like once you beat a certain amount of Sentinels or
See?
you do
It's already
a
happened.
quest for Sentinels, you can have a mech that like you can take around, and it'll beef up your offensive, and you can like attach mining lasers and shit.
It's impressive,
It's
man.
pretty dope, man. Like so
You
the
can't-
shit that they've added into it,
Yeah.
it continuously impresses me the amount of content that we get from them on like literally a yearly basis. Like they again, like I said, it's like 3 or 4, including this one just in this year, I think. So
I mean, I said it in the beginning, and I'll say it again. It's the better Starfield. So I'm just saying. So and
Yeah, outta here, bro.
And speaking of Starfield, we are not going to be talking about Starfield because we haven't been playing Starfield. We're going to move on to the news section, and Starfield, before it's even released, I guess it's released now, but before it had been released.
yeah,
was
this has been I think last week was when this whole thing
Yeah.
came out. And this is the inspiration for our title today.
Yes, it's already in drama cased, filled news, all of which is
Yeah.
honestly a bunch of bullshit. But
So-
yeah, go ahead.
So if you don't know, if you haven't been keeping track of like all the drama that's been going on around Starfield, we've had a couple of interesting ones, and this is one of the bigger ones. Mark Kern, if you don't know who Mark Kern is, he was an ex head Blizzard developer. He was, I think, the lead for Firefall, if you remember that MMO that came
Yeah.
out a
Yeah,
long time
me
ago.
and
remember that.
Scruffy
He was-
played.
Yeah.
Yep.
He was the lead for that. So he's been in the industry for an extremely fucking long time, right? Like an extremely long time. He came out with the best take ever, I think, in stating that basically he took a screenshot of Starfield's introduction screen, like their screen that says
starting
like
screen.
start
Yeah.
options, everything like that. And he was like, you can really tell when the fucking company has designed their start screen and like they put a lot of care into the start screen, or they've put a lot of care into their game, and when they haven't, and when they've just thrown it together by how simple the start screens are for games. Like if it's the most simple start screen in the world, you can just tell that they didn't put a lot of effort into the game, and they just don't really care about the game, right? Which is insane if you think about a lot of like the recent games that have come out. I myself started looking at some of like the bigger games like God of War, Ghost of Tsushima, I Last of Us, right? Like all of like the huge hits that have come out in the last like 5 to 10 years, right? And every one of them, I shit you not, has the most simple script. Like God of War is literally, you start out and all you see is Kratos sitting there with his axe, and he's just like breathing and looking at a fucking tree. Like
I'm pretty sure Armored Core is just a fucking static image that says press start.
Yeah. it's some of the most like asinine things that I've ever seen. And like I've followed Mark Kern for a long time. I agree with a lot of what he says. He's kind of a proponent for like not necessarily like wokeism in gaming, but like not messing around with gaming, and not in like the Gamergate situation that happened a long time ago, right? He was against a lot of that stuff. So I've been following him for a long time, and I agree with a lot of what he says, but like I disagree with some of the stuff that he says, and I vehemently disagree with it. I was like, dude, this is like, I've seen some bad takes from you, and this is like this is up there, man. Like you need to take a step back and like figure out what the hell you're doing, because
Right,
like
like,
this
what-
makes no sense.
Is this really the hill you want to die on?
Yeah,
Like-
that's I think that's what I said on Twitter too. I was
Yeah,
like, bro,
like-
are you sure you want to die on the hill
Yeah,
for
man.
Well, that's it. Actually, from now on, I'm only going to buy games based on their start screen. That's it.
There you
So
go.
If
There you
their
go.
start screen is cluttered as shit, I want it to look like fucking Ready Player One, like what they were selling, where it's just like
The
pop-ups
ads.
all everywhere. If it's not that, I don't want it. I don't want the
So
game.
this
Get it out of here.
this was the full tweet, just so I'm not misrepresenting him. I'm probably gonna murder this word because I don't even know what the hell this means. But the physiognomy,
Yeah, I think it's-
physiognomy,
phys-
so-
yeah. Phys-
whatever it is.
Yeah.
PHYSIOGNOMY. I have no fucking clue what that means. Of start screens, the start screen of a game can reveal a lot about how rushed the team was and how much pride they took in their work. Starfield's start screen either shows the hasty shipping deadlines by a passionate team out overworked or a team that just didn't care.
And here's the start screen, so everybody can get an idea of. What,
to
okay, it's not
me,
gonna
the
really-
start screen looks like a basic start. Like it looks like a start screen
I
that I
mean,
would see
I
in
don't
any
know
game,
what
man.
more I need.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
Like, what do
man.
you want on a start screen?
I think it looks
it's
good. It looks
it's
appealing to me.
literally-
Like-
it's literally something that you're going to spend 2.5 seconds on before you hit the new game button or before you go into settings, right? Like it doesn't need to be the most innovative thing in the world, in my opinion. But
It just
I-
needs to be there
I don't know, man.
so you can access the game. That's it, man.
But yeah, so rightfully so, he got lambasted on Twitter and kind of went and turtled up and has yet to actually like admit that he's wrong. He still sticks by what he says. So,
Wow.
he is dying on that hill for a start screen.
I want to see what
guess
this.
so.
Let's see. He's saying that this most insane example is probably the installer for the original Command and Conquer.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
Well, we're all watching it right here. But, I mean, we're not gonna go through a full 2 minutes of it, but I mean, is this? I mean, I
don't know what he wants, man. Yeah, I don't know. Like to me, that right there just seems like a bunch of bullshit for very little.
So he's
Like-
saying that is the level of what a start screen he wants.
No, I think
He also-
let's see.
He
the most
also put forward the start screen for Baldur's Gate 3, which I will admit the Baldur's Gate 3 start screen is very impressive. Like what they
Yeah.
have, it's very
Yeah.
basic, but like you can actually sit there and watch the adventures in the background, and they
I could
do
just
do
listen to
different
that
shit.
music.
Like they
Yeah.
they
And then
they
whenever
do
you
different
click
shit in
into
the
it, it goes
background.
into the Underdark. I thought
Yeah.
that was neat
do,
too.
Yeah.
do you know the
One of my
thing-
favorite start screens of all time is actually the original Ratchet and Clank
Ratchet and
start
Clank.
screen.
Yep.
Like that was way ahead of its time
Yeah.
back on the PS2, where you can
For
actually
sure.
see Ratchet
I'll-
tinkering with the ship, going back and
I
forth
was
for
gonna say like the
parts.
Sly Cooper ones are pretty good too, man.
Yeah,
Banjo Kazooie, I thought was pretty
Yeah.
good too.
Borderlands has always had banger start
yeah.
screens.
What was
Yeah.
it?
But
That, was
it's-
it God of War that had the start screen where I want to say it was God of War, the not the newest one, but the one before that, where it was Kratos, and then you hit start and it just pans in, and then you start to play.
It pans into
Like,
the game. Yeah.
the game,
Yep.
yeah.
Every one of the God of Wars start that way.
That's,
That-
like,
that's
to
like a God of
me-
War staple, just a face, and then it pans out into the gameplay.
Like that's
Yeah.
that's perfect to me. Like I
You
love
know,
that.
The most ideal start screen, guys. Pong.
Yeah, man.
Pong.
Yeah,
Pong.
absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
The best part about this one was Pete Hines' reply to it. It was like, "Hey man, just let you know, like we did that start screen when we very first started to develop this game. Like that start screen was the very first thing that we even worked on. So like, question out the developers if they care, because like we did that the first thing that we did, right?
Right,
Like
that was our first priority.
I mean,
That's his-
also too, like if you look at this, like here, like this is this shows like they've always done start screens like
Yeah.
this. Like this
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
Bethesda is not like they don't like they again I
the
think they
Fallout 4 is
subscribe.
probably the most like in-depth start
In-depth,
screen that
Yeah,
they
because
did.
they have the the
zoom
background
into like
with
the
with
armor
zoom in,
and
yeah.
whatnot. Yeah.
How come you
The
didn't
Fallout
say anything about
Like, they've-
Skyrim?
is so
Skyrim
good.
was
They've never done anything that's been like
the
super
dragon
super effective.
rotated. That's why.
Whoa.
So,
Whoa. Look,
I don't
here's
know.
here's my point
Yeah,
of all
there's
this.
Ghost of Tsushima.
And I know that we're spending a lot of time, but can we just how about the fact that if you're gonna dog out a company for fucking having a start screen, get your goddamn mouse cursor off of the fucking pick that you're gonna take, you fucking amateur. Like,
I think people
Jesus Christ.
also went back and like looked at the Firefall like start screen and were like, dude, like
I mean,
Probably.
it's what a dumbass thing to go after is the start screen.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that's just it
As
now.
dumb
like,
as
it's
people
so
not knowing-
nitpicky.
as and that's the second thing that happened was like people outed themselves for not actually knowing about science apparently.
or
like
space
our-
or anything like that. or
Our
how
what
her-
great
do you-
school systems
what do you mean?
apparently they so Bethesda told everybody that any planet that you can see you can go on, right?
Yeah.
And then they said this person pointed out, well, what about this one? It's a gas giant. And everybody's like, it's a gas giant.
Yeah.
you can't
You-
land on the gas.
You can't land on a gas giant. You can't walk on gas. And I love their I
And
love
people
their
are
reply
using it as
to
a
it.
gotcha. The
I
Bethesda
love
lied.
I love their reply to it. It's like, well, we're playing a game where you wear a jetpack and you control things with like mental abilities,
Oh
man.
my
And I'm like,
gosh.
what does that fucking matter?
Yeah.
I don't
Is
know,
it- is
man.
this
It's just
also
the
this-
stupidest shit.
is this the same that we're showing here? Is this the same argument within that where they're talking about you can't go from planet to sky in the same?
Yeah,
or is that a
there's a
separate-
couple of people that have been bringing out the fact that like I there was a couple of people, I don't remember if it was P. Hines or if it was Todd Howard, that had said that like somebody said that can we explore an entire planet, just go wherever the fuck we want to, essentially. And one of them, I don't remember if it was Todd Howard or Pete Hines, basically said yeah, you can go ham with it, just walk wherever you want to. Apparently there are like walls there's
I've heard
That's
that
the-
too.
yeah,
There
that
are
was
a big
walls on the
walls.
planets.
That
which is that's a big one. Like obviously it's Bethesda
It's even
and they
worse
like to
than just walls.
yeah.
So the way that the landing system works, from what I understand, from what I've seen, from the little bit of gameplay that I've had, is you land on a planet and it generates a tile for you.
Mhm.
And you have a big square. That square has probably about a 15-minute, like if you want to go from one end to the other of it, of depth to it.
Okay.
So,
Which
and then whenever
and
you-
again, like I can 100% fault them for that, because it's just another Bethesda thing when they talk
Yeah.
about like this is our map is 2 quintillion distance bigger than the last one, and it's really
I mean,
not,
to be fair, they're not lying. The map is technically infinite, but it's all because
it's all
you're just
generated.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you land on that spot, you explore what you want to do. You land on, say, on the other side of the planet, it generates another thing from you. But if you go back to the original spot that you landed, it's going to generate a fresh
It's
tile.
gonna be a new
it's-
generation.
Yep, it deletes it as soon as you leave that tile, which
So-
I feel is unfortunate, but
It's a
technical.
little
Like,
janky. Yeah.
it's definitely janky. I can understand people being disappointed by that, but from a technical standpoint, if you're
Makes sense.
expecting the game to
Yeah.
save like thousands upon thousands of tiles for you, you're
Well,
you're-
not just that. If you're expecting a game to have an entire fucking planet, which is huge, to
Yeah.
just be able to walk wherever you want to without there being some kind of
I
loading screen.
mean,
I'm not making excuses for
No
it.
Man's
Obviously,
Sky
I don't
and
think
Star
it's a good
Citizen get
idea.
away with it fine, but
I mean, they
I
get
don't
away
even
with
think
it okay.
I
It's
don't. Well, No Man's Sky. What people?
No Man's
they,
Sky,
They
you
reuse a lot of
can-
assets. By the
yeah,
way,
you can go wherever you want to on No Man's Sky, and obviously, like if you were determined enough, you could go from one side of the planet to the other and not have to go back up into space, right? But yeah, 100% their generation is really janky, and it's a lot of the samey. Like
Yeah.
everything looks the same. Like there's
my
not
concern
really a
is
ton
this
of-
will be more of the same as well. But we won't know until we
I
get
don't doubt
hands-on
it.
time and more
Yeah.
people like
like I
looking
said,
into it. The
I'm not
other
I'm not making excuses for it. I think it's a stupid thing as well. If they knew that it was going to be this way, where it was going to generate tiles, they should have never told people, yeah, you can land and walk wherever the fuck you wanted to. They should have just been forthright with everybody and been like, you're going to have to land, explore what you want, go up into space, and then land again if you want new stuff. But that doesn't
Right.
sound as cool, right?
No.
two other things that I want to point out is, and it kind of goes along with this tile system. One, I don't know if space is going to be the same way, where anytime you go up into space, it's going to generate a space tile for you, or if the space system is like hand built. I don't know how much they leaned into
No,
the
I'm not
procedural
sure.
generation with this kind of stuff, because I know all the cities and stuff are handmade. I
They're
know that
handmade,
like
yeah. Right.
their like mission objective spots
Mhm.
are handmade.
Are all handmade. Yep.
Um, And second, one of the other things with the ground tile systems is if you land in a zone that's not a city, like directly beside of a city, you can't see that city like
Huh.
on the edge of the tile, which a
Interesting.
lot of people
That's a
Interesting.
little,
thought,
yeah.
that is upsetting as well because it
that's a
kind of
little
breaks away
janky,
from that.
for sure.
You would think they would have thought about that and been like, okay,
Yeah.
well, we're gonna have this be like, because it's a
It's,
skybox. It's all it is. It's a skybox. It's not that much
That's that.
data.
That's that good
to-
old
It's
good old
the
Bethesda
creation
jank,
engine.
man.
If-
It's,
Yep.
the, it's the creation engine. That engine's 20 years old.
It's
like, or
so
whatever
Yeah.
flawed,
else.
man.
They need to
It's
let it die.
so behind. Yeah, seriously.
I'm curious to see what the procedural generation's like. I'm not saying this is going to be a game killer. It's probably going to be fun as fuck to explore those tiles because everything I've looked at, the game looks amazing. It looks like it plays amazing, but it's a little bit concerning, especially with each one of those loads
It
being
is,
a
for sure.
completely new load screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
And,
Yeah.
and those load screens better be interesting.
They better be, man. Better be.
You don't like a 3D model of an enemy rotating with some subtext?
Bro.
maybe they should implement some type of AI system to just auto generate this stuff and do it for you.
Right, man?
No, because
Yeah.
you know,
And I don't want people coming at me as a
you fucked up
like
my
a-
segue, you bastard.
I knew that was the
sorry.
segue too.
You fucked it up. Go ahead, finish the statement
How
now.
dare you?
Damn it.
How dare you?
I hope the game is amazing, and I hope all the Xbox fans and the PC players have a great time. I'm
I
not
don't.
a Sony shill, I promise. I want everybody to have good games.
I've heard it's running really good on Xbox, actually.
It's
Well,
fun.
on
From
the
what I've
apps,
seen, it's-
Actually,
I have
the
too.
S,
Yeah,
yeah.
I've heard that that the 30 FPS, like people were saying that they hardly even notice it. So
Yeah.
that's
so-
good. Stable 30 FPS is doable.
Well,
Yeah.
just I hope you don't, strictly because you made Bill fuck up my nice segue, which is talking about AI.
before we go that,
God
yep.
damn it. Um, another Microsoft property. See, look, man, it was so good. Like it was so perfect. Like it was such a good segue. Damn it.
Yeah.
Anyway, another
Give you
Microsoft
props. Okay.
property, or soon to be property,
Soon to be
Activision,
property.
is implementing a AI to basically monitor in-game chat, and supposedly like ban, do whatever. This is being implemented into Modern Warfare 3. By the way, I stand by the
Warzone.
fact. Yeah, well, and is it Warzone 2? Are they? Yeah, they're
Yeah,
adding
it says
in
right there. It's
Warzone.
live today in
Yeah,
Modern
yeah,
Warfare
yeah.
2 and Warzone.
2
and NA.
and Warzone. Yeah.
I will add to the fact that if you buy Modern Warfare 3, you are an Activision shill. You're a terrible person. You should be ashamed of
Well,
yourself.
you would know what an Activision shill is.
No, sir. I'm a Blizzard shill. That is different.
It's the
sir.
same thing,
No,
sir.
it's
It's
not.
the
No, it's not.
same
No, it's
thing.
not.
That's kind of the same.
Anyway, but yeah. So I don't know. I mean,
So
look,
this is an AI that's going to listen into Call of Duty lobbies.
yes,
Bro,
that AI is going. That's the one that's going to
I
become
am
Sydney. That's the one that's
so-
going
Yeah,
to.
that's
So-
that's
I
going to
feel
be the
so bad
most
for this
fucking
AI. And if
salty
this
AI
is
in the
ever
world, dude.
released onto the public, oh, we're done.
This
That's
It's
going to
over.
be the
That's
that's going to be
World War
the
III.
introduction of Skynet right there. That's
Yeah.
the AI is just going to be like, I
This
can't
is-
help these people anymore.
Remember
Yes.
when Ultron was kind of became sentient and realized that like the only way to truly save the planet was to destroy the Avengers? What's gonna happen? That's this. This AI is
Yeah.
going to turn into
Yeah,
Ultron and be
pretty
like,
much.
"Oh my god, we have to destroy all of these people because this is terrible." Like the most like homophobic, racist, just absolutely disgusting people that are in COD
Dude.
lobbies are like it's just bad. It's
AI
bad.
is man, it's getting scary. We talk about AI a lot. Like I think we talked about
Oh,
it
yeah.
last week as well.
It's
Like
every
this
podcast now.
scares me as well. It's simply because like you never know what they're doing with those recordings. Like you never know what that
Yeah.
AI is going to do with those recordings. You know,
Yeah.
because
people-
if
people
they're
see this
if they're
as
using
as
a
moderation, but in
Yeah.
the end, it is recording your voice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
no,
Oh yeah,
And the other thing that I find interesting with this is this comes out after Xbox made their announcement like a couple weeks ago that they were going to start banning people for chat abuse within
Oh,
their
yeah, I
voice
saw
chat
that.
systems.
Yeah.
They were also going to be doing something
They're
that
doing a
records
three
their
strike
voice.
system.
Monitoring,
voice-
the voice
Yeah,
chat.
moderating voice chat systems.
Yeah.
Like through console, through like Xbox Live
Yeah.
chat and
Yeah.
stuff, which blows my mind too. Like, this isn't Weenie Hut Jr. Like, come on.
Yep.
Shit talk's part of the games. Like, I understand toxicity can get
Bro.
extreme, but
I mean,
But to
Have
be
you
fair, that
stepped-
is how Call of Duty lobbies have always been.
that doesn't mean that it
Now-
makes it right. Just because something is the explanation is it's always been like this doesn't mean that
always
it's
been
like,
that
Listen,
way.
there's a-
That's
there's
how
a
we
difference
were
between
raised.
shit talk and
Yeah.
using
God.
slander and
No,
slurs to
and I
make
said
people
this.
feel bad.
I said this when Modern Warfare 2 first came out. There is an art to shit talk.
Yeah.
There is an art form to shit talk.
God.
But
Yeah.
the new age shit talk is all just yell as loud as you can with the most racist, bigoted anything that you can say.
Yeah.
And that's all it is. But the old shit talk, there was an art to it. and
You're
it
cra-
could be
bro. You're
respected.
crazy. You're crazy.
No,
You're
there
too young
was.
to remember fucking
I was
original.
born on Modern Warfare 2 lobbies, sir. I was raised on
Yeah,
those.
you're right. You were born, so you're not old enough. I played in those lobbies. Like I remember those.
I
fucking
remember. I remember
was
the
that little
amount of
squeaker trying to
times.
talk shit back to everybody.
Yeah, I remember the amount of times that I got like an Xbox
Yeah, man.
message from like some squeaker, probably Scruffy, being like,
Probably-
"I'm
no,
gonna fuck your mom 3 ways from Sunday, bud."
It was like
Okay, that
it's-
might have been me.
It's terrible, man. So I don't know. I mean,
Nah, it reminds me of the YouTube system with them like cracking down on like the swears in titles and like the first few seconds. Like, this reminds me of that, but it can lead you to a ban, which
Yeah.
is, I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like that level of
I
moderation.
don't like
especially when AI is
being
involved.
recorded. Yeah, I don't like being
recorded, yeah.
recorded. I think that's
the whole
terrible.
privacy breach
Yeah.
that like I'm not here for.
yeah,
and the
maybe
worst
maybe
part
the
is that,
AI
like, they're
not
not-
recording you. It's just listening to you. It's not recording.
Well, it's an AI. It has to record it to listen to you.
No, it's too smart.
It
It's
has to
smart enough do
store
it.
something on it
Until
to
it-
listen
it-
to it.
Until it broadcasts over the Call of Duty lobby. Agent Scruffy, please refrain from
Yeah,
using
right.
that.
I will tell your
language.
mother.
Oh man! And actually, what's going to end up happening is they're just going to take all of these terrible, like horrific things that are being recorded, and then put them into a voice pack that you'll be able to
There you go.
purchase inside of the
dude.
store. Because
You want nostalgia from Modern Warfare to 1989? You know,
Yeah, I
There you
want- I
go.
want my-
1990.
I mean, look, AIs are doing it. Like, when can I get my Joe Biden voice, track inside of Call of Duty so I can run around as Nicki Minaj saying
I
Joe
want,
Biden lines?
I want a George W. Bush, a one where he goes, "We're gonna terrificate him. We're gonna
It's-
get him,
It's
We're gonna,
we're
go
gonna-
find
we're gonna
Katrina,
get the
we're gonna bring her to
Al-Qassam.
justice.
and we're gonna bring him to justice."
It's wild. Well, things that also want to be brought to justice, or gamers are pretty pissed off at Sony right now for the price hike. The Sony price hike and the PlayStation Plus, not by a small
they-
amount either, by 30.
Are they
30%.
actually
No,
like upset?
They're
Like they're
actually
probably.
pissed.
Dude, come on. How
Okay,
can you
I
not?
was,
don't
I was,
care.
I was
don't
about to say
care.
like
You
most
do not
most Sony ponies are like, yes, please hit me
There
harder,
is
Daddy.
no-
So
No, they
Biden.
are actually pissed. This is one of the few times I've actually seen the PlayStation fan base like turn against like Sony for a decision and not try to defend it. I saw people defending Baldur's Gate 3 being $70 more on PlayStation. This is not getting that same kind of treatment. This is like,
Yeah, man.
and the reason for it is, so if you guys aren't aware of what's going on, the PlayStation price package for like each tier, essential, premium, and ultimate, or whatever it's called, I can't remember the exact terms.
Essential plus extra and premium.
Thank you.
Yeah.
They are all going up, but not the 1 month version or the 3 month version, only the 12-month versions. And it's about a 20% increase across the board on all
Which was
three
the
of
best
those.
deal for if you wanted to
And
buy
it
in bulk.
still technically is. You're still getting more bang for your buck than if you were to buy like the 1 month or the 3 month over the course of a year. It still winds up being less, and it still is technically less than Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, but it is not. They're basically punishing the most dedicated fan base players by making
Right.
them pay more
I mean,
for it.
somebody had to pay the lawyer fees for Jim Ryan's continuous crusade against Microsoft. So.
And it's bullshit. And I'm happy to see that people are giving a middle finger to Sony, being like, what the fuck are you doing? First, it was the PlayStation Portal and those damn earbuds. And now it is this. Like, the community is actually, I think, starting to see some of the negatives and not just being a blind faith bot.
I don't know. They'll get upset about it right
They'll-
now. and
they'll-
then
they'll
two
probably
days
be over
later,
it in
they'll
a
still
month,
pay
yeah.
for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
They
the
will,
issue there though is
100%
like,
they
what
will.
else do you do? Like, you don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You either
Yeah,
pay
you
for
don't
it or
have a
you don't.
choice.
So
Yeah.
it's, you know,
You don't have a choice. The biggest takeaway from this is if you are on PlayStation 5 and want to re-up your PlayStation Plus membership, you have until September 6th to get the old deal before they up
There
the
you go.
price.
Apparently,
So-
the move is to wait for the yearly sale, right?
And then they do a PlayStation Plus sale once a year.
Yeah.
That
And so,
you
like, if
will-
you
They're
technically
doing the Walmart roll it back
joined-
process. They hike the price and discount it down to the original price.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
Smart.
So no, it's bullshit, and a lot of people are pissed about it, and rightfully so. I'm
Yeah.
pissed about it. So
Yeah. Well, it's a huge, I mean, 33%, man. Like, normally you get like a 10%,
Yeah.
maybe 15%.
I'm pissed about it too. For
oh,
my
it is
dad.
33%. It's
My
dad
it's
just
right
wants to
big
play
right
Call
there
of
on my
Duty.
screen. I thought it was only 20.
Yeah, 33%. So you
Yeah,
need to
man.
get your dad off Call of Duty so he can stop. He's being listened to and recorded by the AIs.
I know.
By
It's
the
true.
AIs. So, something that I don't think anybody gives a two shits about, other than maybe the devs of the day before.
If that's what it's even called anymore.
Well, yeah, it's. I mean, who knows?
No, it's the
what-
day.
isn't
It's
it
the
like the day
day. It's the
after
day
or something?
after the day that we were supposed to release.
Well, yeah, this is this supposed to have? It's supposed to be launching in like 2 months. I think November, right? Isn't that when it's supposed to hit?
Maybe.
Street
Yeah.
date is what they said?
Yeah.
I thought they delayed it indefinitely until they had figured something out
I-
because like they don't have technically like again like they don't have
I-
the name like
I swear to God, I think they set
No.
for a
Is this
November
their
10th.
new name?
It's November 10th. That is right
November
here.
10th.
November 10th is the launch. No, that's November 10th is not their new name, but November 10th is the launch
November
date.
10th.
Better name than the day before.
Yeah,
For
but
real.
yeah, the day before for anybody that all you day before people that are following this,
Day before November 10th.
the trademark
That's
dispute
November 9th.
is
No, get this though. Their new supposed name is Day World.
Okay.
no, it's not.
Look, I'm pretty sure joint venture between developer and publisher Mytona applied on August 3 for a trademark for. So it's like they applied for a trademark for a computer game software called Day World.
Let's see. Let's see.
It's not.
Oh, here's the the trademark
man.
registration.
There it is.
Day World.
This game is fake as fuck, dudes.
Dude, this is. Thank
This
God.
game
Oh,
doesn't exist. That
Oh, keep reading down on that.
this
The
is
potentially
the most elaborate scam I've ever
keep
seen. Holy
keep
shit.
reading down on that. The potentially sticky situation is the Day World is also the name of a series of novels, a trilogy and a prequel by Hugo award-winning sci-fi author Philip Jose
Great.
Farmer. Published Open Road Media still offers the trilogy for sale through various digital retailers, and it's not inconceivable that it could cause more headaches for
Oh my
Fantastic.
God.
Oh, this game doesn't exist. It's never coming out. This is
Yeah.
hilarious.
Dude, this.
Very true. I don't see this ever coming out, dude.
This game's never gonna see the light of day.
No, and that's
At
why
least
they're
it's
going-
at least
Will it
it's
see the
off
light
of
Day World though.
at least it's off of Steam now. And people,
Yeah.
you know, I don't think it ever went into
you couldn't
pre-order.
buy it.
Yeah.
No, you couldn't
No,
buy
You
it.
could early-
You
early
saw it
people
on
aren't-
listed,
people
that
People
was
aren't
it.
wasting money on it. At least they're just wasting time.
Which is so funny. Why go through all of this elaborate bullshit if you have no way to monetize off of the crap, right? Like,
Who knows, man?
I mean, kudos for whoever stopped it because I'm sure that they submitted to get it fucking early access, like purchasable.
Yeah.
So kudos to Steam for that one, for stopping that. Alongside of legal troubles and issues, the dark and darker devs, Iron Mace, are for right now kind of out of the woods.
Well-
okay, I know. I'm just saying for now. For now. I'm not saying forever. But for now, they have the Nexon lawsuit has been dismissed on the grounds that the case would be better heard in South Korea. So it's not completely done, but it is basically saying that for right now there is no active lawsuit in place until they find a court that'll hear it for it. So they did launch. They launched on their own launcher. So it's not on Steam. They said that they are trying to get it on Steam still. I will say that it is weird. So like the link, this page down here does have a link to it. Let me see if it'll let us. Okay, this is just going to take us to this, but I was hoping it was going to actually take us to where, the store page, but yes. So this is where you have to go to buy the game. Is through Shaft.
Oh
my god,
Chaff
dude.
Games.
Chaff Games.
Yeah, which is
I ain't even done heard of the Chaff Games before.
That looks like a basic bitch
looks like a
website
rip
that
off
was
of
thrown
I mean,
together in
it's-
like 2 days.
like, I mean, it's a storefront. Like it's
Wow.
got a
dude.
lot of things on here, so
Okay.
A lot of things I'd never heard of.
Is that
You've
is
heard of
that one of
Neon
those
Abyss.
keys? Is
I've heard of
that
Neon
one of
Abyss
those?
out of the
Is
20
this one of
games
those
you showed me?
key reseller sites?
Could
I don't know. I mean, there's a great way.
I
There's
don't
easy.
think so.
There's an easy way to tell. Somebody go to Steam and look up Neon Abyss and see what. Well, shit, Neon Abyss is just play now.
think-
What the hell?
Yeah.
Wait, can I just like? Wait, what? Are all of these just
Sounds
play
like you're
now?
just gonna- since you're just gonna start playing
Neon
these
Abyss is
games.
$20 right now on Steam.
Are all of these just play now? Like, can I just go in here?
It said purchase on Blaspheme.
No,
You,
it
you
says
probably when
now
you
on
play now,
Blasphemous.
it probably fucking brings it to a thing.
Buy,
Click
like,
it.
a card.
This
Click-
this
click-
looks
click
like
the
this
button live.
legitimately
I'm not
looks like a key
gonna-
There it is.
reseller.
I'm not gonna dox
Yeah.
myself. I don't want to do this. I'm not signing in for this.
This legitimately looks like a key reseller. What's it called? Chaff Games.
Chaff games. It's really weird that Dark and Darker is the only one that says purchase on here.
Okay, when I type in Chaff Games, this is the first thing that comes up. Chaff Games is a scam and charged my friend $5,000.
Holy shit! Oh my god. Okay.
Okay.
Be careful, guys.
we
If-
were
if
we
you
were
wanna
about
play
to
Dark and
sing these
Darker-
guys some praises. Maybe we should reconsider.
Chaff
I mean-
Games scammed and charged my friend $5,000. Check your payments. This guy says definitely a UI bug, seeing as he bought $50 in Chaff Cash because before actually buying the game. Not to mention, there's no way in hell your bank would let a transaction like that go
no.
through. Stop spreading Okay, this guy's a. All right, all
What do
right.
you thi- I
Whatever.
mean, just
I'm
look,
gonna
that-
steal
that
my
guy's on
mom's
the
credit
payroll.
card so I can buy Chaff Calf.
do your due diligence, please, because
Yeah.
it's
The fact that you have to buy Chaff Cash just it screams key
I mean,
reseller to me.
look, it's I mean, hundreds of thousands of
Chaff
people have bought
Cash
it.
took my $50 and refused to let me buy the game that I bought through the DAD site instead. I want
Yeah,
my $50 back. Chaff Games.
It is on DAD. Like DAD's website directly goes to that. Like this is why I've yet to purchase it. Like I do want to get into Dark and Darker. I like the game, the genre, but I just
I'll wait.
yeah, I don't know, man. Like let me get it on Steam.
That's my biggest
and
thing is
then,
I'm just like I don't like buying games unless like my biggest issue with that, like I wouldn't even care if it was on Chaff Games or if it was being released through its own thing, but there's a simple fact that they're still possibly in legal battles
Yeah.
and that game could be taken away from you at any time.
Yeah.
Is what stops
Very
me
true.
from doing that.
What's crazy is that Iron Mace is also working with
this is crazy,
the
man.
Krafton, who is the publisher for PUBG,
PUBG.
for a mobile release. So not only are they enthralled and embroiled in the middle of a legal battle, they've launched on Chaff Games and now are also on top of that.
So
trying to release
not
a
only
mobile
can
version.
not only can you buy your
I-
Chaff Cash on Chaff Games, you'll be able to buy your Chaff Cash through your mobile app too.
Yeah, so that's a thing. So Dark and Darker.
Crazy, man.
It's be mindful of what you're buying, guys.
You can also just purchase Dark and Darker directly from their website. So I would probably recommend going that
I
route.
think that doesn't that go
I wouldn't push it
through
at all.
Chaff though? I thought that that's where that goes. Is that leads directly to Chaff? Let's theorycraft this right now.
Fuck it, we're doing it
Purchase.
live.
We're gonna do
We're doing it live.
Purchase.
Darkanddarker.com.
But you have to make an account.
Shop.
No, there's an installer and everything. It doesn't get through Chaff Games.
It doesn't. Okay, so
Doesn't look like it yet.
Nah, you download the Blacksmith.
So that is a key
installer,
reseller.
Okay,
and
don't
then,
go through Chaff Games, guys.
Yeah, that is a key reseller. So please don't go through Chaffkey.
well, that was the only way to
Don't-
get it before.
that-
Like that was like I remember specifically that's where content creators and their site, their Discord, I think, was directing to Chaff Games.
that was probably a way they got around.
It's probably
some
yeah. I was
shit
about to say that's
sell
probably when they
keys.
first got kicked off of Steam, and they were
Yeah.
just like, we need to get
We need
as
to
many
get these
keys
Well, I
as
mean,
possible.
no,
So
yeah.
just
Well,
dump
what I'm
it.
saying is that this was no. This was like, like within the last like 2 weeks. What I'm saying is like when they launched this, when they launched their own launcher, the only way to purchase the game was through Chaff Games because
They yeah.
I
They
literally
probably didn't have an SEO back end on their site at that moment, so they were just pushing people to Chaff Games and then pushing them to the launcher
Yeah,
up
that's
until
so
they got an
sketchy,
SEO
man.
site. Yeah,
oh, they have
Or
in-game
a,
currency. Yeah, there's their Redstone
a
currency.
shop. I mean, not an SEO,
Can
a
you,
shop.
can you buy that with your Chaff Cash
Is it
too?
is it Chaff Cash? Yeah.
I don't know.
Chaff
I
Cash.
have to create an account, so I don't want to do all
Yeah,
that.
no,
right
I'm not doing that.
Anyway, all right.
the fact
well,
that it has its own launcher right there for download, and I yeah.
I mean, still, it doesn't change the fact that they're in the middle of a lawsuit.
Yeah,
So,
don't buy the
yeah.
game because
You
it
know.
could be taken away from you at any point.
I mean,
Yeah.
we can't. We
I mean,
can't.
if-
legally-
if-
we can't
if
tell you
you're
not
able
to
to-
buy the game, but just be careful with.
I can
buying the game.
advise you.
This is
to buy
not
the
legal
game.
advice.
Yeah. So just be mindful of that.
This is
like,
Pre-patch advice.
Dark and Darker is fun. Like I will say, like the game is fun. Myself, and Scruffy and Enigma have played it when it was on Steam, and it was, it was. I
It's
enjoyed
okay.
It was a
it.
good
I had-
time.
I had fun with it.
I still don't think I would pay that much money for it personally, but
I mean, I'm there. I'm like, it's okay.
Yeah.
like like $35 I think is way too much for it. Like 15 maybe I'd consider it. I just don't think it has a lot to it. But
And wrapping up, do want to talk a little bit about some quick hits that are important for news segments, but maybe don't make the big grand talking section. Volition, if you're unfamiliar with them, they are the creators of Saints Row and a couple other things. They unfortunately are shutting down. I mean, their last this was
They
the
made that
Embracer
new
Group.
Saints Row, right?
Yeah,
That
and
latest one that was
the Embracer Group owns this, and they're reshuffling and reorganizing things, and they shut them down as part of this. Other big news is that Grim Dawn ARPG is getting a new
great game.
expansion. It's newest expansion or first expansion since 2019. That is
That's
dropping
exciting.
next year. In the face of all of these, Diablo 4s and Path of Exile 2s.
PoE2.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's a rough one considering they're going to be in contention with
Yeah.
PoE 2. So
Yeah, but Grim Dawn is good, man. Like it's a
Yeah.
good game.
it
honestly
is,
They'll
but
get
I
their
still
fan
think that
base.
PoE 2 will outplay them
So
by a
Oh,
long shot. But
Yeah, but they'll still get their fan base. They've got
For
a
sure.
pretty dedicated niche fan base.
and then
About PoE 2, is it confirmed free to play?
I believe so.
believe
I
so.
think
yeah.
so.
Yeah,
I don't
know.
think that they've
Yeah.
given out anything for like price wise or anything like that. So
Because
Okay.
I think they said that if you purchase, I may be wrong. Actually, I'm gonna hold that statement because I don't know if that's 100% true yet.
yeah, we'll get back
I-
to that. It just came into my mind. Sorry to disrupt.
No.
Moving on.
One thing too that we were going to talk about on the show, but unfortunately, just due to time restraints, we're not able to make it. But Soulframe, if you do want to see some gameplay, there was like they had the TennoCon dropped or convention happened, and Soulframe was debuted their actual gameplay footage. We got about 30 minutes of gameplay footage there. Very distinct difference from like Warframe.
Yeah.
So go take a
So
look
just-
at it.
just as a quick update, this is straight off of pathofexile2.com. Their site, Path of Exiles 2, is a free to play online multiplayer game with co-op for up to 6 players.
Yeah.
Word.
And then also too, Lenovo is launching their own Steam Deck competitor. I think it's called Lenovo Legion. Is that the
Legion Go, yeah.
Legion Go. This thing looks like a Switch meets
I
like
kind
a
of like it, man.
It
Steam
kind of
Deck.
looks
Like a Switch
cool,
meets a
man,
Steam
yeah.
Deck, yeah. I like the
Uh,
fact that
Little
you can
kickstands.
pull the controllers off and everything like that. It's got a
Yeah.
8.8 inch I think 1080 OHD screen.
It's actually
144 refresh
surprising
rate.
that that's the screen that the PlayStation Portable. They just basically removed the
Yeah.
Lenovo Legion controllers and slapped
man.
a PlayStation controller on
Exactly.
It made it so you
So
can
that's-
install shit on it.
it.
Yeah.
So, but it's not running Android. The port
I
is
I see
not
an
running
aux
Android.
port there too. So hey,
But
there you go.
Um,
Plug in headphones.
So yeah, so that is the news quick hits. That's the show. 95 is in the books. That's everything, and we are only 2 minutes over. So I am
That's
proud
a
that we got through
surprise.
all
That's
of that
impressive.
content
Yeah.
with everything. So yeah, just so you guys know, if you do miss any shows or this is your first, go make sure you check us out on anchor.fm/prepatch podcast. You can also go to any of our channels, whether it be through Twitch, whether it be over on YouTube, whether it be Kick, whether it be if you want to listen to it, Spotify. We all stream, we all create content at any given time. So make sure that you go check us all out. Streaming a lot of the stuff that we do. We also have a Discord. Make sure that you hop into that. Thank you, Scruffy, for dropping the Discord into chat. It's also in the notes down below as well if you want to take a look at those. But hop in there. You can give us feedback. You can give us articles that you want us to cover. You can engage with us directly. We love having chat and doing this live because we get feedback directly from you guys and gals when we're doing this live. So for myself and the rest of the Pre-Patch podcast crew, guys, we will see you next week at 10:30 p.m. Eastern right here on YouTube and Twitch. See you guys.
Word
Awesome.
out to my
Bye.
homies.
Installation